Wednesday, October 2, 2024. And time just about gone 25 minutes past 1. Now in the studios this afternoon, me mind Jumedie and I different neat 100.9 FM. So at the brew. Nejumedie me amidi won chiame from me. ADAKABRI Mudu Osioma. Senior co-character right in front of me here and the supporting character here. Aya me offer me die nyina prekupe Majari or say Ajima.
May go for new. My filter. My filter, Papa.
Say
you were brilliant when Go for our brain on a measure midnight.
Nyame, Sabri, Nyame, and find your quadro. Now, with the appear, you my dear, now with the Akuma Paso and Nanti. Now, the surprise of the moment, and it is the lady, and it is Dohima, Nana, every year.
That's all Russia. I'm call Russia.
Me man chorus and US now tell me down.
How many say so call Russia?
There won't be a chorus man why come and say that.
Na kesi we do
or check camera na to see.
What
me dia na ma da wo fa.
We dia no ada. Anu anya obi a massage o.
Oh.
Asemye. Yamo atena se.
Ya eja.
Ene yamo akwa aba.
Me da se.
Majare ni ni amane na dia na ye no nti no dadam.
Akuya. We dey wasumu a.
Mr. Jerry.
E dey na wa na dadam ma ma yente wonken.
Say ja. We enye me nkwa me sempa. Me nkwa me sempa. Dey tell me say yi na yenya yi nim say na me be adwuma na kwensha kakra bae. E ma me sankra bae na meje me ho enye. Enti no me hu say sana na bibi o ha ye say me hwe na me mu ye me ya na me nti ase enti no. Na say me ti me kona ye hwe me. Enti no.
Physiotherapist for no ya pass da ma wo mo.
Oma siesie me kama.
Because ya ne do ba bi ono mo a unya accident don't overlook it.
Yes.
Say immediately no wadwene be you say why you okay. Why you okay. Na physiotherapist no kire dislocations no na kasa o say you correct no na onti ase because onipa ne gina ho no mo a the obe nwan so say ya na ho ye ne ya na banani ma de ko but it was a physiotherapist it physio for nyina mo Ghana nyina no ye dem ase say what the eye cannot see no the physiotherapist can see so no na or yeah supposedly 1 2 3 4 no ma correct afa nipa so mesi onkasa me ho ye me ya biem so no
o tun say BBS see no ho na mesisi no so
because for the physiotherapist to say yeah 1 2 3 4 way and I said yeah I dislocate kakra was here na ye correct no na chese wo ba fe physiotherapist hwe correct na osu and I have to take shots of no osu
na
osu
physiotherapist hwe wa na osu
wo fa be mo na me se we dwa wo ho na chese wo bi gboja pade egusu anya ho ba na wo he wo ba
or you professional
later me do fe na me kai se sam me shot ade o
can or you professional a physiotherapist
na your grandma so
mami you any your friend and Naomi and a physio no kwahwe say ne di no review physio bacha me can imagine enti mami you any Naomi any physiotherapist I will lodge nyame nhramo ade anase motime acorrect ne normal de amano a ene won ati ase no enti ene de o mama license so utime ye bibia you can even jump into bed with him. I was a BB okay. I was to be
any one can't get some sanko bisano.
I made a catch them.
No one can't.
Also, yeah.
He said just a bit my BB come.
I'm so she can even jump into bed. But now she can any no as a young correct here. No,
okay, no, no, maybe.
And
when are you trying?
Oh, she's already done it.
Oh, yes. And them now they can't come mechanic shop. What buy? I wasn't one try.
Oh, okay, I'm young Casimir. Oh, no more money.
And I feel my friend
just a BB okay. That's good.
I'm the two speaker for me. Carbon no to me. Munyan is say. Namuya
Munkan say.
Movie among can't say. I know also down to me. And that's I've been our family. Honor. Nam some person hotel. Right. And the Yamia Simum. Namoto accident in Yadi Papa. motor accident nya de papa na risk a Ghanaian drivers FAC especially on the highway Accra Cape Coast Takoradi Accra and Koko Kumasi motorist no ade ekoso no unse from Konsaba Edeba 96 Akwana number 2 on
number 2 where 2
sounds na no
ade no kwa mosemu ye ba minim de tafe wo majai o fe hu
anura mi duro one be 11 p.m. It is a lie pa yasa person ka ba metro mass
yes ejina no
abede mi to mi hunu contractor bia so inscription asemi so ya ba be ka ma magari ya dase
kwa se wo mo ye wa fa me fa so me fa we kwesi ada no se biduru wona about 12 anajo
ko na free so na de na muamu
se kwa de ayehu first de kwa de se onam so onum so biduru bia me ha nye me ni se but se de wudura wo ma yi asphalt no so me twa ba bia
akum ene che se honum na pumpu
de
be that's no so watch na den because what be can asem na ede almost say Accra Kumasi road pitin ejoso ede eba pedwan kwanta 160 kilometers na 160 kilometers no oma chemu mienu contractor baako ebefa 90 kilometers na contractor baako afa 70 kilometers na omo ye asphalt overlay na omo asme restore the road furniture asema mbeka ye ni because me tena aba abaso so asem papa so hunu afedie na wudru adanse edeko asankare barrier no dia at least no contractor no enoma sisi wo Simon so no if I've got a pronunciation right CYMAIN into me na make kind of Simon but me name say be a contractor but I look at it and I say Simon it only there who no makura sisi wa say like unhunu machines no kwa the machines no akosisi second chance Philadelphia
hono
so no
kwa sankare
no Philadelphia for some kwa na be ko heaven what
one dem said you ko ho
Philadelphia for no kwa na be ko heaven
edu 31st night enya tempo
eti Philadelphia for asase no so dem dey tell us the same mo din da and to am the machine is at least who say Simon what the bibi abesuwa watwa kwan no amma che say ho no nyina no aye imputro de na wudu akwa na number 2 wudi free konsaba ede ba akwa na number 2 ho no no de just asansu ko gina ho ko twa foto
ba ho ne de wo nya ho hwe o
just wayi asphalt na free so watwa na enra mi do from was say ede be di traffic so ede so na kumasefo ne ma enti omu na se kumasefo na besena ko kakra enti me fan se bia ya no contract flow enti contract flow de ba ku gina na ba ku abesena ko egomu na ba ono so agina na yeso abesena ko afedie ye delight so na emrante ne maba wa gese inspector general police koko gina osino ansa ne ya chechire wo mo na wudu osino na yifa ho a no aka che so kokotwe no wo da bi wo so kotwe no ochebi no mo ba edu do pa wo so kotwe ochebi no upa wo de twam ko enkotwe ochebi so na che say a whole inspector general police gina ho osino said so that nkopo nyimfa ho enti anura aba say anadwi say 11 na traffic gina mu ofiti from ase etwam kwansaba ade eba yakwa na number 2 ana say 96 how they put it traffic gina musa na fede we yifa afena asem na yama homete na how indisciplined can we be just say yenyina yen san line no
na ka yenko
yenyina yen san line yenko no just say mo de mo ntiase afede ye disu yeduru ho no mo a just contractor biansi ho
bibia ni ho
signboard bibia ni ho just kwan na wabetutu ase
no ntudu aje otobo
because kanino na mu atutu no utimi fa hard shoulder no so nti do free nkran ba no onam hard shoulder no so na now pool no cry friends fish pond no
na cry we free mumpo we free na ba say
Entina dem say the metro mass ni nyina obi.
Entina metro mass ni nyina obi.
Oh na nyame pare kransie.
So mama sase wo konfudoa inside do baby na konfu bi e won ha.
Oh na we dey kwa gogo ho na mo do fodo na ewuram so kwa.
Yes do kwa gogo no we free.
Oh na we dey waka so mama me ra ho awie. Na your fish pond
kama ne me. Oh I just say
kaudru wa ka wonnam hard shoulder no so na just a fish ni esumi upon no mu na kwa yo mo bye bye and I just say we mo so free kuma say ba no so no o so nam your pen say hard shoulder no so etin kokko MTT di kura no ya no makwa akogina tokuro mu o fish pond na betri o na kokko MTT di vo gina o Mr Sante woni squad accident squad won kokko me chia mo nyina so afedie free hifa Kabila asanso buache Rose Minister akogina ho akotwa photo aka some day they say yo say ya chekwan mu mienu 70 kilometers on this side 90 kilometers on this side asphalt overlay restoration of the road furniture some day ye nyina asoso anura na dwede me hunu ye me kasa manichi ya na me kwa
haje
enti afedie na boss ba akososo de ade ehia me kwa no so kwa ne ya sala na che no emfimfi wona ho atutuo no ana me sia 1024 102024 ana me 1010 na hade ana se da ma me mpe ba bi nko ye di traffic mo pe ba bi nko gina ana o pe ba bi ko gina na oyiyi eno ma no e di begu kam de ma me na mani anyi ko wie se u free akwa na no ma
2 no
96 adiba 95 no unse no
so na number 1
hoso na number 1 ene wani mu ben eno ben jejetin kwanta ene number 2 no from wase so na pe no number 2 no hono no a na ya ne saa no a ye tutuo no utwa wie na unse wafa ramp mienu so na pe no waba be bende etu bende ya no na chese wo de ba that stretch so so a ba 95 no e hoso so se ho atutu e ho na
de kwande o munya ye ho hwe
e ho na tanka bi kokohwie petrol gu ya me ofa ba kokoko board for e de ne ba betena eye ensaba so wo mra me kokoko nursery and of course wo kwa akosesa petrol de bia petrol no e blast ye na chese ne hwa ho ene ne siremu nyina ehye so ho no enti na nya asem kuma so enti na asem sei atimi asi na yakwa kotutu kwan so agya ne ho enti enne se wusi kwan mu se wo kɔ eye central carriageway carriageway no so there's a traffic a bit dim
wafa e hani de se no the traffic be a generator say we osino e generator pen na wan hwe ni na amanfo yi afa ho na ma traffic na say heavy more udi ma why discipline no na yi afa ho na traffic na aye heavy na no wo approach wo police station na wo say no more try so nim say the police for no wo honti no more try wo be rem na asan isu na ke ye disokra na nka ebetimi akokakra ebetimi move
na udu paradise so ramp no yi
na de no iron rods ni nyina mo iron rods ni nyina pie unam so kra na yam hyehye
it is say yantimi ansisa de we by December I can imagine
yes be hadwen be hadwen
say and mishia wa second bus no anadwo sese bra say no afena wa second bus na obesna ko na say na ni na ma say sese bra say you friend say Christian the time be na be dru wa abran ko mutu free say 4 p.m. no and by 7 a.m. no more wa no enura nadwo ya make no afena no machia wa second bus no I'm say the Christian sese bra say da be na be dru wa afena mi suma driver no
so am I say
quite so 10 no 11 na say ma make no na afena no Tough Gun Anthony afena tamale first bus tamale morning service o 2 and past 7 a.m. no and na 11 no na afena tamale morning service no Anthony wo papa afena no so back ra edi impact inspector general police why ya de say ya na ono ankasa personally
ultimate show so
edi say no Eastern South region regional commander no deputy commissioner of police Mr. Boss
so woman HB
yeah proceeding young man na oya de papa the friend Mr. Bossman into Eastern South regional commander Bossman mechiao what he's done is say afa wa merge MTT the phone nyina into a man from your friend is saying of a man from and someone now we fa bi every suhum na wa fa bi afri achema safo na wa fa bi frɛ osino na wa frɛ ɛyɛ asiko anyinamfo na ɔma baba be bom just to maintain traffic flow ɛwɔ ɛyɛ osino and you just see no oh come on so by December sadie we yansi ano a
ebe eze se obefa kwan no so kra na ɛyɛ wo sɛ nye bibi pa na wo pɛ ntama kɔya a na ɛyɛ wo sɛ kwa anadwo because as wo kwa anadwo na ana bi a sɛ anadwo no kra anadwo kra traffic
ɛwɔ your friends say medika encounter traffic ɛwɔ odumase edi mu sa be fa hyiaye mu
okay anadwo sa no ana sɛ ya kwan so de aye ho
me encounter traffic ɛwɔ your friends say odumase ɛna ahyiaye
na de bɛfo ba
akɔnɔ ɛna de bɛfo ba akɔnɔ edu sɛ akɔnɔ no u sanide ba MTTD hɔ no amena mu hɔ no so no truck bi so be say
okay
eti truck na say so na obi timi jemu fo na o sane ba no na wo so wo de opa wo so pa kwai
nyame anya wadoma
nyame anya wadoma do so kwai that ono no 63 tonner the 63 tonner and it's to jump from no fo now do so pa shia no
yes ya kwan we so dear yesre wafa number way 95 one say ye hwe no empanifo nyemfiri ho
enyimfiri so
na we dey say na woman tutu kra na ka ye
editor of Statesman Kwabena Mankwa
tutu kra na ka
editor of Statesman Kwabena Mankwa ofri eye 95
sir all ofri
Kwabena Mankwa ofri stay I want to see the papa ye di akoye yi editor Kwabena Mankwa say unpublished say the
enye main road say but to mo ye nyane ye bom aba so we dey wo mo ye na koma ba ba ye number 1 dey na ka ho
na nke chese nke
na ke afedie ade na kwa bi o say ye dey be na esi o dey be na esi
we say ho nyina no hye mpraye so ase edika kire Statesman editor Kwabena Mankwa say wada Roma on use the pages of Statesman
na on fan publish it
akwa na number 1
enye no man tutu so kra na ka ye send ye na so anya ye nim say
akwa na enye kwa kitu asa there's a risk motorist enam so no
dangerous
anadwo no be se du mienu eno so miduru eye obretima edi eba babia accident isi ye ho so atutu eduru wonom na se 1 2 bu ase amfa mfamu a eno so asem
fa se ko na ede ntina mana yesa
ensuo da ho
ensuo ntra
anti o se nananom egu nsana oma contractor no ekoyo
said e kwana tutu no so eno so ye risky because we kwan ne daso a ba be pie
no be pie so nti ukuri ana amena mu wonom edi nananom ngu nsa eye DC adwuma edi DC a owo so hom no no akwakongu nananom obretima nananom ewo abakontina eye ahensem no yento ntwene keke nananom a ti asase no so no nananom nim asase no so de wo so nyina so ho no eti e o se eno so yehunu nananom go wo ye kwan asphalt na honko na atutu wo ye na atutu na nsuo da ho no mu a e wo se nananom timi gu nsa nananom ebenya bibia ka kire aban krache ama aban krache tu wana mo but se no nipa na e wo ha no nyina no enye Marjorie imagine esuma boss mienu se eye asori e wo la Côte d'Ivoire Abidjan na ope bas han a wanya bas bia wo la Côte d'Ivoire han se oba Ghana ebe han VIP boss se bas nim free enkran empty emra la Côte d'Ivoire Abidjan emra me fa wo mo emfo mo mesene nko eye Lagos akodi 10 days Nigeria na so for panyini 70th birthday it just eye Oladepo winners also the 70th birthday
okay internet so mo
asori me free Abidjan ebe sin ko Lagos na wo mo be sin ko Lagos na ya dispatch bus free nkran na animguase am be bia say Ghanaian customs eti IB aflawo eti me keep bus for 6 hours because omo komatia 10,000 sefa the bus omo ba out of the blue what your flower say on to 40,000 sefa per bus
no or dear Gunuboto man say
receipt be ana ho
and no answer
enti there be o ye kwa ya 10,000 sefa per bus enti yesra mo e de be kura na ya nyi 20,000 sefa per bus na anim guase say uma Ivorian citizen I can't tell say you go high bus no wo Ghana a Ghanaian bus Ghanaian registered bus
and that's all we are na dey mo
I say na customs ni ba feel wa it be my Ivorian response say when I can't see you say VIP Ghana so what pay the money job
okay
who Ghana ni customs who go Ghanaian company ni say abra Ivorian who say oba be fa Ghanaian bus e dia Lagos and you to be keep bus for 6 hours. Put me keep bus for 6 hours. I know me more voice no be antibiana. I want man no more.
About money or can there be or can French ana. So what French no.
Okay.
Your money uncle. Fremanso to French. More money uncle. Your money uncle.
Oh, as an upper France. I got
nipa me no want to French your money.
Say Ghanaian registered bus. Now Ghanaian customs. Who delay bus. And the nipa do free so ya Ivorian or free so who say a Ghanaian bus. And was adabio a Ghanaian bus never Ghana. Now I feel why about what kuma which me just say near see who say a Ghanaian bus. Na VIP na year then. Who want to buy that show? A good Ghanaian company anymore say.
Yeah, some more.
I some the bayasam. I some the bayasam.
Yeah, han will be a children young kowe. Oh no son so no I bet to baby no me awa.
Abe high car wo Ghana. Wo fra Abidjan abe high car wo Ghana. Wo si yenyawo. Na say tie ne tie Ivorian lady no report no or no kro abomode yetimi aka French. Na yesusu yetete ase ye mu send yetimi ka French.
Customs officer no.
There be Ivorian lady no. Complain how
Akabro for na French.
Or not me aka brofo. And I yes yetimi ka French.
Of brofo international language.
Na French is
here. French international language.
French will be krom kasa.
French you be grown kasa. Young kasasa kra.
Na wofa. Emran is saying. Emran I mean
Emran kasi yenyi ni sika bia sa. Enti omo gigi sika funu edi ohonom. So
this is betu ya receipt income.
Sika betu edi tie no as a receipt kan ho tie. Abra eti me ba. Mumra me hwe ma de. Right, abra. Ebo esusu no. And mo fidie ne ye.
There was this man from Custom. Went to the first custom. Well, I don't know, so how are you, sir? Yes, we came to a flower, and we did all the paperwork since 11. There was this man from Custom. We went to the first custom, they released us. There's a man to the custom office said we should pay 30,000 for each buses. So I told you, I said, for what for? When we came in from Cote d'Ivoire to Ghana border, the custom fee was I think 10,000, which is 20,000 for the two buses. But he's saying that, and when we came to go to Flower, we passed out of Flower, there was the immigration, the custom officers that did the documents and wrote behind it that you were aware that these buses belong to Ghana, belong to the citizens of Ghana, and it is going out of the country. It's supposed to return going, and she did all the documentation, she wrote it behind the bus, and she now relates us. When we came back, I went to the office, they saw the writing of their boss, and they now told us to leave. So we have to go back to the other custom office where they can put what they call, they wanted to see the bus. And when they see the bus, I was still with immigration, and he now told us no, that actually we should pay 30,000 CFA for each bus, which is 60,000 CFA. I said, well, why? What do you want us to pay 30,000 CFA? He said, no, it's the price. I said, how can it be a price? I said, when we're coming, we pay 20,000 for the bus, 10,000 for the bus. Now we are just translating and we are going. So, but then why do you want us to pay that amount? It's too much. Okay, send us in the night and we are rushing, the bus have to go. Let us pay 20 for us to go, then for us to pay 30. He said no. He kept us from 10 o'clock to 3:41. We just left him with so much to the immigration and protest, vaccination, everybody, drugs, everybody left us. That man kept us. So I just want to inform you that the bus was kept by Ghana. It was not kept by Cote d'Ivoire. It was kept by Ghana officer. So we have been there. At the end of the day, he accepted the 40,000 CFA. After keeping us for the next 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, for the next 6 hours, he accepted the 40,000. So it's to inform you. Yeah, I'm for the CFA.
Just Ivorian. And I send you way and I do the Suomuna. I almost snako Abidjan. I'm a driver for Nakos. I could see woman. I'm a could see woman. Almost a year shopping. I'm a Ghanaian driver. I'm a soft opinion noir. Or no Abidjan say, Chinchina or Betty Baby or La Cote d'Ivoire said VIP Major. The sort of buses are Yadema woman they call Lagos. No, almost possess our bus, Nibi, and Madema. No war Ghanaian, yeah, catch that will say. A Ghanaian registered bus. The bus is owned by Ghanaian citizens. Now, what's wrong? What you Sassy Canosono, what the black and government crank and you?
What you're going to put to me, so
how dare you?
What done so dear?
So, drive on in there, Becca, how I feel one kid to about what kid to other because I see him VIP, VIP, and so what? Hey, Commissioner Customs, Mr. Momonche. Na Ivorian ever hired your own the run or can say it was not detained by Abidjan for no one
Abidjan for no crown I shall a trim of one more side. It's a Ghana side in a problem.
I have problem.
But a Ghana bus.
A bassa, a Ghanaian bassa,
Ora Ghana. Or Befi.
What you say, Sikaway, at the Abbasidan can't be a siasa. So, what you want to win is Adani be a Naya, and now you say, a bribe of 4
of a cat was a more bra.
Of a cat,
1 year smart.
It's not forward the voice, no, a customs division. Say, Monsieur. And run a dinner, say, Bass in me be chair moi, or Muko drew a president Abidjan. It is just a woman free Nigeria now. I'm a free Nigeria now. Into on the 30th, and now Omu drew a year Ghana Hornomona. Oma down a hot mamma dear chion. Omu drew a yellow mare and a joe. Domo da homa dear chain. Intiano and walk as a ye delay Omufitiano pa. It was 3:41.
10 a.m.
10 a.m. Nancy says Ghana Fokuta. Basa. Not as Ivorians na Timua. No. Na Ufrisa, oh, young hiding.
See, I him for crying as he say, you got me son. Say, Obi, Uko shall be known himself, we any cromuni and aso. There's a ubo a crowd of fish on a bibia. They are willing to help you. Or to a casa, just an whole pentam cry a day. Abu said, Bibi also to me, Yama, or bet me cried you when if you no be a home or be pray a chronoswa. Obetimi age wo ni fie ama aduane adi ama baabi ada esiesie wo kana na sisi ade mente ase oh wo fa na mekan se first no ka wo ko fie
Ivorian say Ghana border na yesa na nye Ivorians na yesa e dey no person kire sa asem no ka no person kire say
omo ehu adwun ekra your own citizen your own people because I also to me clarify my own say
French for na enti asema so if
you grand there your phone am go on of about that so there no me question on there na be
no yes free flow of citizens
and goods and services na man no grand and free movement
and free
one
a different bia we hu say bia o kwa bibia illegal and na say bibia si
on Facebook Live also ADAKABRI this is what the media should focus on, not only the politicians, because the government employees are the problem of Ghana. Because this one, the politicians don't have any responsibility for this issue. Customs. And I just say, woman, Ivory and the catcher say, where the bus is owned by a Ghanaian citizen. Ababa wanu kwa de chete nkomu timi identify ne maami anka me amekwa kope bi aka ache no papa na mekwa kope bi aka ache no papa
it's very pathetic.
Very pathetic. Say the idea kura say Ivorian if we say obeba behind bars wo Ghana. Obeba behind bars. We
can't sit here and say there are no buses there. We can't intimi nka say buses in New Holland.
Ono wa radio say yanko fa
Ghana. No, yanko yamba me 5 VIP. Ghana. A registered company in Ghana. Ejuma whatever percentage of abanya ko enta den na wo individual betina baby abo abro to say anya say BBSC boni BSC. Why would you do that? Anyway,
sikano abaga sikamo ababeka Ghana sikamo Ejen ka we kra ni say no do border no so sika say utua no so omote so because why ejuma Ghana no akwakofa bibi dia babegurem. And so I don't crumple now. I want you here almost uncle for me.
Yeah, but the point is, yeah, you been orientation bang, and you did my warm away your border so. And you been foreigner from a neighboring country. Etimi ababe high bus. Say free Accra. Entramu a lubo. No, entramu a Ivorian side. Enkonko fa warm ewa Abidjan. And for months I may cross the Trans-West African Highway. And for months call Lagos. No more no more bar. Now I will say Ghanaian customs. Wo na wo extort to sika. A free Ghanaian registered bus. No way French if one yeah nanka. Yesterday I was here ka. It is just okay say who quite run across border no a Ghanaian custom officers and na e disrupt to bus no.
That's on it here.
Not just a dear me, Yanni, the way around the put on say a Ghanaian border, not La Côte d'Ivoire border.
So if you are reporting an issue, you should be able to tell us what and who and why and how and all of that. Until also may you huni pakra, yes, sir. Well, because we see, no, say, bus, yeah, Ghana bus, we be an unhu ye. The panel to say for us and fan when found I didn't know. And your ma won our catch on who say, me cry, this was my input. Say, if you are not dependent, Najan say, be a Ivorian bus in tea, obey my fair, you who say Ghanaian. And I just said, the entire no so Ivorian, and then any Abrina all catch me ahead of time and say, not just almost I delayed, almost they will be built an extra 2 days. In the extra 2 days, no person who say, and ya the omuna use car no na a Ghanaian borders and ya keep car no sa nti akatua no yenyi 1 day free so because Ghanaian border and the man omu delay and yes sir instead of 29th no come do 30th but Ghanaian border na mo delay no mo ba 1st of October into no 2 days extra no yen 1 day man. And one how obi border customs in or Jenny Brab we why increasing the cost to the hire of the bus. Right now.
It's not just a hire of the bus and then comes to the bus company to say move for 1 day in China. If it's a customs for a delay.
And it not specify say
yeah. Obi can go bet me aka say ebia.
And it not say
ebia
yeah. We
was here to 1 day, man. That's how 1 day, no, a Ghanaian customs and a delay bus, no, until Oman you subas no man. Driver for us to be confirmed.
Say, I'm pampa.
It then the company has to lose 1 day of the bus in the hands of the client on the basis of Ghanaian customs for and a cost of delay, no.
Asempa.
I just said, dear, and I sorry for mobile or Mukutom documented. Also, say. Omo panyin ni chire say a Ghanaian registered bus na I sorry for and say and Oma ko nhyiamu and Nigeria and Omo ba.
Well very since say kwanka wo church bus and never born no my first anketi e betimi ahwa amana ko hu say we asori for na guma o mo nko no nyame nko eni je homka sisi ade ba bia ase
Samuel Redu Azure as good afternoon the damn man Damn, man. I love your station very much. More things are going on at the border. I can give you more filler. I go there often. So, 36 cannot G, you know, say, or G 30,000 a sepa per bass, no. Or just says, can the Magana government?
Oh, Papa. Now, cigars receipt in who the Magana government.
Na 30,000 sepa cry saying.
Of I mean, check him out.
Unim.
Make a check him out.
Nana, Ubi a chairman 1,000 naira, send 7 cities as a same. It's kind of or store per bass, no. See, you 10,000 per bus, which is 20,000. Yeah, but the entry 60,000. And that is 30,000 per bus. Hey, stand so soon that I say, I was saying, ADAKABRI, I had same experience as a flower border. I met a Ghanaian customs officer on my journey from Togo to Ghana. They asked me of my nationality, and I told them I'm a Ghanaian. They then asked me to pay an amount I can't remember because it's been years. I looked at him in shock, because I thought he could protect me as one of his own. He told me to go back and use the main border if I'm not ready to pay him. I asked him if the amount he's requesting for is a legal fee to pay. He responded, I will end up sleeping here if I want to prove I know my right. I got angry and brought out my passport, and he said the said amount, but I told him I will ensure his bosses hear this, and he could not comprehend my confidence and wondered who I was. Few minutes later, his friend in uniform spoke Cree and asked him to let me go. That is, he's sure I may be a top person in Ghana because of my confidence. The worst things out there, uncle. So,
fine. 799 cities, 67 persons. The man say 30,000 safe, and never say 800 cities.
It's 30,000 70 or the 800 cities, and so I'm a bass next year. And you're not going to for 3 hours.
Aye.
And I'm going to for 6 hours.
I'm going to 800,000
It's 1,006. And I just, eventually, no, or deal for 6 hours. And eventually, was 20,000. It was 40,000 instead of 60,000.
And I saw Mukai say, Uncle 14, some Kobejika. And cannot the man who so one who said, Uncle so one moon to enter and my vengeance.
Do you have that impunity, sir? Who bet me a delay travelers on the border just for nothing?
Just for
yes, nothing. Yes, sorry, I can say a lot of one, yes, sir.
Offer.
Gausu, what do Germany? Or say, offer is true. Accra to Kumasi Road, that's Sankare and Kubasi Customs. There are some 2 ladies there. They really disturb the drivers. So no. Hey,
baby, and say, I won't say all of these things. A shaman for whom? What's that now?
What you used to say? Just say, would dear children will be anka wamoshe. It will be delay ukeke.
Until now, what you are now.
No, what you are now called. Into when you have an Ivorian citizen hiring a Ghanaian registered bus owned by a Ghanaian, and walk can say, or no do no catch a bio, and find some your French in Intino, and I will be you, the bus near Ghanaian citizen, dear bus. Now, I just a man family, dear craft freaking me cry after I feel one. So who doesn't know VIP?
Who doesn't know? So, Nima and a broso, a dead in the home and it down born the pie now, oh yes, I know. It's very bad. I think say I was seeing you every time, Nyaman Koya. Yet to come near the shop, buy. Every day, me come say, I buy no, you move beyond a buy no. I buy is just a microcosm of all of us. Until no, yes, say you so any
or just as you got it there to know. Receipt to be also Nassau.
Receipt in Nassau.
It is a one my French in who say you can bribe.
We're going massage a lot of phone.
Abidjan for
Abidjan. We're going massage home. We're going massage. Say sister with me, I bet na social media. I share my experience. I can see. Ebe kwa. I'm to onka some Ghana for so almost say peace, unity, harmony, and then there ekeka.
There's a peace, unity, harmony, no pair.
Wait, no, wait. Peace, unity. Away. At first, who could share be who come now?
What in Ghana? What you solid papa be also to more than also Jenny.
What for Jamina, Mr. Mina, solid VIP, baby.
But it is not fair.
It is not fair at all.
And just that impunity say, ultimate trouble. It's a bonus in your uniform. Now, one my French in the catcher say, yeah, you 10,000. Other than year by the year 20,000.
20,000 increment, I think.
20,000 increment.
Oh, quite bang, yes, I dear cratch and I dear change. Hey, and then the 1 week had the 1 week.
Or nobody can't to your bribe and send your position to a flower. Because say when tu sika afla ho no ye gold mine to when tu sika yama it we say no say Ghana e border ho kra no so be the normal ba na bia we are do e bia 10 cedis a obetimi age sa bribe we ama Ghana nya 1 cedi instead of 10 cedis no because one na be church normal to be ya me lose revenue because we say sika na oje ye no e ye ne dia and or that right say wotimi ma bass gina ho for 6 hours hey asembe kure ni bread am na me frɛ ehusme na ne susu no papa yi ya frɛ no Musa Dankwa nipa bi penabo no
bien dimemo
we bi dimemo no ma me nkonko read no maka kra bi ha eye me wa fa ase eye Dr. Bishop actually de baaye Dr. Bishop ne nyonko pa ne ya frɛ se Musa Dankwa Bishop Dr. Bishop ne nyonko pa ne Musa Dankwa etina menkan Musa Dankwa message mfama no ansana Dr. Enoch Kovinyako Bishop bia obi amechia na oba small boy fefe no so echia no akwala ne de ma ne nko Anglican secondary school Bishop na ne se wo akwala ne de no ho fe dodo enti fa no ko school foforo fa no nko Anglican na Anglican me baby ko dormitory ni toilet ni ba bia na ho no enya ade a na ma ne jikura na mse Bishop wano den Bishop wano den ena wetina se ama Anglican etimi ayesa no Musa Dankwa message we na men kan fama Musa Dankwa na Bishop ena ochro ede bre eye Musa Dankwa anti ebe kakra no anti Musa Dankwa bumfre eye hoops na do ye soso mfama me na say
sorry
it's a messages no menken kan nyina mfama idi na say idi na what is saying adumarakwa eduwe de entete ho ma menken kan messages mfama na as message ba ko biaba ma mini kan message from a high profile Ghanaian personality a former energy minister and or say it will be interesting to call the Commissioner of Customs. Let me hear the tape and ask for his comments and commitment to act on this. And you know, nene me forward the tape no at the Ama Commissioner of Customs. Say ban say na say no mo to one no mo ye. Na nka wish me driver no so menya no. Na nka sa oba no kan say yenim say Ghanaian registered bus. Na hwan nim VIP. Na who give a short about VIP no na nko no so no onka sanche no customs say no na ye hwenti nene okay I say no let him be on air payi kwajo damiado I say yem customs for ne yem fan engineer commissioner general no kwajo damiado mumre hwe customs for na yem mo mama ne na sa voice no wo monte na anim gu asesem a mama Ivorian lady etimi agu yen say edi nene yate mejina omo so na ye hwehwe na kwambia so no yema customs for empenefo won kran hase no ente message na Ivorian lady no ede ebaye say Ghanaian registered bus yetimi ono Abidjan na waba behind bus free Ghana say free Ghana empty emra mepa yen wo Abidjan na yekodi yesofo 70th anniversary na etimi do makọ Lagos na omako Lagos akodi 10 days na omo babaka na Ghanaian customs say original 30,000 sefa per bus eno nso so chese ye ko etua 10,000 sefa per bus entiare na this time the akosro 30,000 na chese misunderstanding as to level of payment inti na utimi keep bus no for 6 hours keep bus for 6 hours eventually oji ni 20,000 sefa per bus when in fact wako utua 10,000 sefa per bus na numpo sesika no ye di tuama Ghana government and say moji agum botom na Ivorian lady no say extra 2 days now say ko bus ni dru nkran etimi ko Abidjan na bedru Accra by the 29th of September no eventually no bus ni bedru Accra enura 1st October na extra 2 days no September 30 and October 1 so 2 days no cost involved no and Ivorians no ebe stress so say as a result of delays Ghanaian customs emo delay wo aflawo no yente so emfa 1 day ne nche wo mo na omuntua extra 1 day on the basis say to wo Ghanaian custom no what the kind astore to sika every wo ho to mutua wie ye no and all transfers are lost no to the Ghanaian company it will take customs no na dia na wo ye wa aflawo border huntia wo na be store to sika free wo mo amoma be tie free owner of the bus no say yemfa 1 day nche wo mo because Ghanaian customs agents can incidentally so 1 day sika no omo ye liable so mbetua no wo sika na wo give 40,000 sefa no it pales into insignificance as was say wo delay nintina 1 day na ba beto so it yemfa sa 1 day payment no yemfa nche no nene ye be ma custom commissioner no on comment on it publicly say Ivorian lady ebetimi aka we Ivorians not na say ama asori Winners Chapel Central Abidjan ese wo mo hwa asase de ama na VIP Merit station wo hono no wo na ukofa sa wo highway e de aba ediwe na ukopon wan asem say o ba be ko Abidjan no a ho nsem da ho na je say customs ni ame ye huni na we ye ntrase ne yewra ne yakra kumase na ye ntwa bibia so ye ntrase ne yewra ne yakra kumase no na ye ntimi enye yi oh we de wanyade into the woman say yabema panyini no ayede at said assembly city idi and then you know what's nothing now okay say last field poll for 2024 election that's what you're saying
ADAKABRI offer me that say simple the main pattern is say we na survey itwa to a yebeko form any Ghana for bekasa but interest survey no ye jai before the elections it be say another one view but I don't know be over the telephone
enti de mo bekọ form no so
eno de ewie no
enti chese dia kan butumi a telephone butumi a other things
yes,
but de mo bekọ form no na de mo ya ewie
yes
nano ne ye beka ho nsem no na pese me interview ba ko bi wi ansa na matombo ase ama ene de eye plain language tie nyina ebete ase na ehun nsem bebe bia nko asem ehun nsem bebe bia eye nko asem
mati
because politicians no asha ase atiasim so and the politicians no atisim sa no de a e de na yahwe se de bi si akọ na ye de ehun ye ho ano Fish Solutions what's it saying remain of the view that NDC will win December elections. Fish Solutions. And also playing. And you what? Okay. Can the year sa field survey poll no so far the year abano coming here.
Obekaya every 90 days beyond global informatics you call field in a month for Edin Peter for the past almost 2.5 years for almost 2.5 years so no January April July and October but about one say a December we don't want to wait go again in December and I'm say in Nisika, we are a very small company. It was say if I can be so the same result without going to the field. But also, what has happened for the past 2.5 years in the pool area, I can say from April 2022, nothing has changed. I mean, nothing has changed from April 2022. So what we are seeing in the new ones, just confirmation of what we have been seeing for the past 2.5 years. I think we are very confident. And over the years, you interview Ghana for a lot. Some of it a private job by intimate fan to job. So beside what we do, we have a lot of data. Many people don't have privy to that kind of data. So we are very confident in everything we say publicly.
Okay. Yane Owura Musa Dankwa, Executive Director, Global Info Analytics. Na said odi kan kachre no. Over the years, every 90 days, omo ekofom ekoko busebusa enkrofo ano. Inti respondents no nsem beka no. Na ye put no in a data form. Na ye de aba. Na responses no mo de ba ye no mo de aba betudwa. Na no or say last one call from busebusa enkrofo ano asem no. Imuaya na aba no. Ena omudi atudwa nti no ena in totality yene ne ba be di honkomo awie ose in the new poll among voters who voted in the 2020 elections 53% said they voted for Nanado, 40% said they voted for Mahama, 1% said they voted for someone else, and 6% declined to disclose who they voted for. Let's just say nipa no amuno mkodi nkomo no the omu year 2020 and omu catch them nipa 8,000 actually no.
Yes.
And now omu cut the omu year in 2020. The same nipa na muso masemano. And the mu 53% say as a 2020 omu to Abama Nanado. And omu 40% as to say omu to Mahama. And 1% say omu to ma ubi fufro. And 6% can say omo de omonka na we na mu analyze ye no sa nipa no a asa 2020 omo so omo na ado no afi yentie I say analysis of the poll data shows that among the same voters who voted using all voters model 53% Nana and 40% JM. Now JM is attracting 50% of their votes compared 40% for Bawumia, a complete reversal for 2020 elections.
Yeah, almost see Nanado in 2020 no. Obekaya obo no man 50% and
53%.
I feel you hear Mumbai no my no. Omasisa Etoma John Mahama 50%, Baumia 40%.
To beat Nanado in 2020 and this time around, or you're committed to voting or likely to vote for Mahama.
Yes.
I see, interestingly, the poll shows that among voters who intend to vote for John Mahama in the 2024 elections, 20% had in 2020 voted or Nana. 71% of those who intend to vote for Alan had voted for Nana in 2020. As I say,
the impression is Omo Tuma Mahama this time.
I say 53% no.
Yes.
And I say Mahama dobe onya total, you know.
Yes, total. A more 20% etuma Nanado in 2020.
In the previous elections.
Yes.
And the figure now Alan Chematini
Enyano. 71% of Alan Diano Omotuma Nanado.
And 60% of Cheddar Diano
Omotuma Nanado.
Omotuma Nanado. So it tells us Alan and Bediako, who draw their base from MPP strongholds, have majority of their votes having previously voted for Nana. It's not just Alan and Cheddar are drawing from Nana MPP.
Absolutely.
It's a very simplified outcome, no? Okay? Using the simple chart. And among those who voted in 2020 elections and intend to vote in 2024, JDM ended on 50%, right?
Yes.
DMB ended on 40%, right?
Yes.
Alan ended on 4%, right? Bedia Cheddar ended on 5%, right? And others 1%. And I feel seen it,
yes.
However, for those who did not vote, which include first-time voters and old voters who for some reason or the other could not vote in 2020 elections, JDM leads with 51%, right?
Yes.
And DMB leads with trails by 34%, right? Alan 5%, right? Na Bediakon 7%, right? And others 2%. And I'll say DMB problem is largely among those who did not vote in 2020 elections, which include first-time voters and by extension, younger voters. As you're saying.
Nititi said, "O shared the gap between Mahama and Baumia among old ones. Now, talk about last time, no, gap na 10%. But Oma Twabadano, any Oma Yakwan and Twaba in the last election, the gap no eso. So his problem no a first-time voters at the moment, and those guys now are younger voters, people who are below 24 years of age."
Sanda Barafudi Abedru. ADAKABRI me makachiro. I've told you now and then. Before that, when the NDC lose, they will beat you and Musa Dango. What's the NDC for about Musa Dango and ADAKABRI? Papa. Why never go Muako? Yenyan Asimpuni. Was it the lottery forecaster is on your da? On your mic, yo. Alright. Ave young Congo, where you name? Executive summary, no? Na breaking executive summary, no so down. Yanu Musa Dankwa, and na train and como. Na Musa Dankwa, executive director at the Global Info Analytics. And na almost last field poll. And na or the abraya yasha sia yaneno etwetwe hon komo in the executive summary no any na executive summary no and na osha sia as a final poll conducted by Global Info Analytics and he tell us and na outreach mu no na John Mahama, the leader of the opposition NDC, or maintaining a lead in the poll with 51.1%. Vice President of the Republic, Dr. Muhammad Baumia, 37.3%. Alanko Juchre Matine, O Kumase, Akwa Hinatanaye, one also share a caravan event saying campaign, I say, Echneya war, shall say the Free Asante. On also so 4.1%. And Nana Kwame Bidiako, an independent, also on 6.2%. And others no 1.3%. Weighted, committed voters model. Chechemwe.
Yo, as posters are omuduma yeno. There were two approaches at the year survey. So okonyo and I'm only a man for the guitar who we are. The raw figure no, any year unweighted. But there's a trick where also see the bit use of that trick in the polling. Because Oko feel that you can't determine how many MPP you will meet in a day, how many NDC you will meet in a day. Into over time, you keep the number of MPP will meet in every time, average. So you name the average number of people almost MPP for, only NDC, only floating voters, and as other parties, and our one country. So say Oko now who say this time MPP for 40%. But normally on the average, only 35 or say who smoothing sample now the MPP for about 35. Okona and this for more 40%, no more 31. So 2 of the so about 31, so that you will reflect the average over the period. So you apply that scientific, and a weighted average, and a weighted polling. Weighted sometimes Bama will increase. Sometimes Mama will increase and the others will fall.
And I would say, using the likely voters model, that is the unweighted, a year raw, a year JDM, 49.3%, and a year DMB, 35.9%, and Chematine, 3.9%, and Cheddar, 6%, and others near 1.4%. And undecided near 3.5. Inti or say the race is unlikely to go into runoff, as the year average of the poll show JDM on 53%, DMB 36%, Chematin 7%, Bediako 3%, and others. It unweighted in the figures in the bio, as you call runoff. I feel I would say yearly average, a Bamutia, and Yadi Bako runoff. Chichimu.
Share on weighted no. You about 3.5. I'm saying only undecided. On Nanadua, on be decided. And I'm a hammer of 49.3. So out of 3.5, no, Anya Kura Ubinya by 1% woman. So with the 1% in the count 49 1. Do I? Or chum?
Just said now, what's the question now? Which chim cracker?
Yes. So normally, no, Omama undecided, no, they don't break in favor of the ruling government.
Undecided and say I will not vote.
No, but at that point also,
unim baby obetuako.
But the point is that so what by was so for the past 8 years, he should be confident enough, say he
stay by what by no.
Yes,
the metro
amount.
Almost
undecided that. Be very careful.
Or shall no maybe kakra.
On to mount. Most people don't vote.
On to man on can he say.
Aha, but this is last minute no at my opponent.
What's the voter apathy subebem?
And I don't think it's debatable. Everybody knows it.
Is it significant?
Very significant. I think we may do about 8% lower than last election. Yes.
Apathy.
Apathy, yes.
Yeah,
Mento. Yes.
Voter apathy is expected to be one of the challenges for the governing MPP, as 16% of voters who say they will not vote are their supporters. 3% are NDC, 38% are floating voters. MPP for the door, and now almost say Yantuaba.
Yeah.
Onto. But we decided to better.
You see, a spectrum. So we say on Twaba. The both no on Twaba. To get him from Minto to okay, undecided, and to who, it's a long journey. It doesn't happen like that. But the reason why I also on Twabano, because any man could in his personal life or whatever he has seen. So what would change him, or what would cause a change of mind from men to Okoto? And sometimes no one in year Okoto. So it's not always said because we're a party into Okoto. It's not always like that as a human being. You have to be very careful. Yes.
You share a methodology no approach na. Yani Owura Musa Dankwa, or executive director, Global Info Analytics, research and marketing company, or we dedicated to providing us with a national opinion polling and survey. Now every 90 days be omodeba. Now final field one almost on my year ahead of December 2024 elections. No, and now or the other two jar yet na prekese ya tuya boas ya ye ne mako o see 8,206 voters and mu interview omo na 7,509 and answer questions no enyina enti kan wan sam kire ne
yo first and foremost they bia ye kan also Ghana for 18.8 million number 12 18.8 number 12 Adam going to intervene for 5,000 per 6,000 we say Ghana for a dream. Opinion poll science.
Opinion polling science.
Science. Yeah, but utrim keke enfanya sampling. Your formula why you use to calculate the pahin and also no being put down. In this particular poll, no, your PK confidence level they be 99%. Margin of error 1.49%. And you share Ghana using these two variables, no, and the catcher said, then you need to interview at least 8,200 people. This number, no, and yet, a boy, they calculate here, there be. a scientific tools they use and they calculate it. So we are quite confident we are accurate. And you see the be make a decent coin. We are inquiring and coin being so can hear and coin na as an who say and coin yet. We start the back with the count of so
okay, the methodology and approach, but before then, not scheduled interview back on. Yeah, one of the contestants, Alan John Kojochira Matine, or no so upo na nya bidrewi na obi beka say in action nipa bi se na omontenenka omohunu bra wo hye ne campaign ase enti afei ano no so no caravan campaign no wahya ase a enne wadura asante a wokọ akọchia wo hene na akine yawo wahya ase na Alan no permanent figure around Alan would be Hopes Nadoye any lawyer ya boaben enti yenni Hopes Nadoye enkasa na yenhwe itinerary Alan no efa so na other planks are almost their campaign no na omkana yesamra back to ura Musa Dankwa wo de eno na tia say ya abotantim yeno ADD yeno bibia Hopes Nadoye commander yemo ha
Mejo Suminia
commander na ho te send de
Nyankopɔ de adom yɛn pa
na asida bi wo hɔ ne mu a ɛwasa Alan John Kojochira Matine wo de da wa na
asida ne de yɛ de ma Nyankopɔ ne yɛ de asida no ma no sɛ wama yɛ gyina ahoɔden na wama yɛ kukuduro na yɛtumi ɛde agyina yɛtumi Nyankopɔ ne yɛ de asida ma no
yo na dia na ba Alan Kojochira Matine yellow but usu komo pa mustard John Dramani Mahama yellow usu komo pa mustard yellow any mustard in omu di frehefa
say before say Alan eba be fa yellow say ne kala no na wa bompa ye amanyankopɔ ankasa adano ho adi akyerɛ no ɛne ade anyankopɔ ka kyerɛ ne sɛ Ghana flag no won two color and find the color no right I saw for the Gushia na of my penisha yellow and say I didn't
na Alan any asofo hia am ye de ensa gu no so ana se sia so John Dramani Mahama so ne asofo hia ya ye de ensa gu no so yi ase ne san
obi a woko bibia ne na asofo nkonkohia so ne ate no it ordinary there yes I am mamre so ne ate no I say o kwakodi hene na wankwa mana na mwanfo munsa anguso ya de foforo so ne ate no eti agidifo Christopher wo mu no afra asofo no awomudo omunsa guso me sure say ndemofo nso befre omo imam sa mo munso de omunsa gugu omunso eti ni nyina sa pepepe ane ye no na bibia ko kama
obi anko ni diem na chese ye mo mpa ma no
eno ano
waye na Alan Kojochira Matine na wasebu notice say caravan campaigning or sha ase akini yawo but enne de mo kwa asante akọ hina na so ni nyina no permanent figures around Alan Kojochira Matine Hopes Nadoye any lawyer ya boaben partner ne to amama ni mu
me da se bebre am say sa caravan campaign ya to the caravan stores move from community to community nkonko jina constituency capital ni atwenkrof abadabi call village to village ala la musa no okọ say 10 minutes to plan best spend okọ no a amanfo be hu ombe fili no eni ade then emre bi America no say Alan or your tactician when it comes to politics eni ade say Nyambo a preach na ekono across the country caravan tour no ekoso me I will be in charge of voter region. The running mate will be in charge of central and western. Or no one be in charge of Ashanti and half western north. Great actually in no hinin too. Tahiro warlord in charge of east. Anna Abubakar Sadiq and Abu Sakara and Omomuka be in charge of the 5 northern regions. Eti ye twaso na enedie esanse no oba be sre kwan ewo otikofo so nti na etese ye ka no ho ne eba nyankopɔ ya adom a ye be san anwumre many running mate here better abakra. Let's say no yatwaso. Na Alan, many work at it. See, I'm say more friend than a munyameno. Na ye were tomb for him. Na ye did them. In fact, tomb for category or yeah, to my surprise. But some more friend back home say no metiame. Me say I was shocked. Eja, me walk in, me kochiano. Whatever a din kobo kakra. Na after a while, I say, Mahuso odike sitio, odike mra, odike koye. Jordan is that I told us so 3 times. Now so odike, and then your boss, why your body for?
One could come a kaye.
One for come guy. And it says, as I demand, Aje in a tomb, Abibia, Epokama. In fact, Alan Edin anu disem Epokotubia or presenting copies of the GTP Ediman and Anamo. Na Otumfo in response, what say Bukuno will go through Kakreb, one can we but what with it, the same pana Ebekodia, Netete, Ghana, your problems in Alan, will identify any solution. Why ne Baidia? The idea no beka, Ishrano or the Bishrano. It will Shrano Kute. Say, okay, one can in some Manuntua Sumu, who said, what Cassatia will be, who said, what Diatem, one console no one yet, the Bibia and Koye, or calling Koya Demonsoa, or Fred and Anoa, or Bekaino, or Hodum. In fact, I don't know Kokoye, and him for Asia or Hodum, or Mujina, Katsa, Kakra, added to Alam for any idea I just said. Aba bibia edana kwemu eti sabrede wase wa mado kwan se otimiko eti Alan etua sabre ye ko kuma se prisons honomo akwakoye 1212 na yaba alaba ifiri ho a ye beko jeso man hene ho wonim se ehon so eneye ni kro eko anane ma bifi eti obeko man hene ho ono so akwakoje ni sabu nhira ansa nyankopo yi adumu a ochina no fully netefe eje damusa na eko Ghana fana nyina netefe bibia eko so eti ne ati sabre ewo asantiman mu enie
ade na manya ko otumfo se atu abebio o se atu nyame kese na wodi nhira no so ade amamo no de wo hwehwe ane se obi anko kana sem enkyere wo manma na eye ogu akuro afrane okese eye ejoso manhene de ne ba prekope ene alanjonko je kyere matene na okọ no mo a ape me yenhwe t-shirt any the great transformation plan ene na nkrofo epe t-shirt no abusu de
t-shirt de yikura bebre pa aye de nam in fact no Ghana my move be bibeko because kimu pia ekra t-shirt a ye better mangrofo. In fact, last week ye call Oti region, many running mate call Oti region. Adam who say, hey, t-shirt the home papa. Yeah, you could do baby na MPP guys who are t-shirt will be MP. They say running mate Gina Castle. Two a t-shirt no bako urade komo ya boy ye driving mirrors ne adembo bobu be tubu ye so te sade no na say hey sa abafranto ye graduator media enya easy na I can tell you that bibia beko kama na adiba kwa mpesa mdika ADAKABRI Ashanti region December 7th Allah is going to crop between 35 to 40% of Ashanti vote. You mark it on the wall.
And when can
men na make a chiro.
So I should read your lips.
Between 2016, they can work platforms to say, a Kufuor do be John Mahama more than 1 million votes. Papa the TM, what say, hey, I don't mean that the one you need. What you want this over winning that difference in there too much. And then, Major need FM, I can say, December 7th, Alan is going to crop 35 to 40% of Ashanti votes. What the market see?
Musa Dangwa Swati.
Musa Dangwa.
What's what?
Musa Dangwa there. I don't know. Maybe know de. Allah ato. Why are they stagnant? Yeah. Odiagro.
Nese mo afina mo shemo dwuma ase ana me boa.
Enyata fempo. Ye chase e kura no. Yes, I see a grano. Allah, you're solid, our grounds. Now, minimum crop for prayer, no, no, more kata. Every year, I go one every day. You're stagnant. You're stagnant.
Agroni form. Respondents.
Most of them go say yes, agro.
Mo yire mo na mo yeso be mamo why no the post election service no the aba
o wa ti bi agaje
also oh jina ye o za hwemu ye azesi ankrofo ase chese wa ayi yaka bibia gu na so no ama cheda ABT Alan.
Oh, yeah, cheda we ABT Alan e jago for.
Now na answer na abekro no Kwadwo Owusu Danso running mate modene kire ohene no osetu nyamekese otumfu osetu abebio comment bi ba mu
o ka se Alan de odim se oye nokwafo se de wo bie na no ehye se wodi youth na beba na wati ma hwehwe mu akwakonye obi a wadi 40 pepepe na nkenye constitution no kra bia nka wadi 25 na beba yi na chese saa de no kwadie no enkoso na enye because yes o wodidie nso se kewodi ebeboa Alan ama message na perform ama mpudibie atimi aba
yo na munya kwan so na munya bre na momfa no nkonko chia oti dwetakonwa so da sebre sebo nso ebi se Kwadwo Owusu Dan Kwame Owusu Danso ne maame Georgina ono so mampon so na ne papa kodi prosi kese ho mampon no ko school ko mamtech inti monye bre na momfa no nkonko che na mampon hima so
obokuma pem royals nso ho nom
na obokuma pem royals so ho obeko so now afi no timu biemu Kwadwo Owusu Danso Kwame Owusu Danso fa central and western so I know
yes
if we say ne fa bi so free Almina to no so fa sa two regions no and Alan so fa Asante and western north and Ahafo
yes
and na
ohininto ni Gretachi ko Bunori
and Tahiru warlord
na miangata hope to befa voter region
and
we are put voter and noti
voter and noti na
Abubakar Sakine Abu Sakara
Usakara
so the 5 northern regions
the 5 northern regions
warlord so Bunu East
Bunu East oni popa ekoka bomu honom
that's right ADAKABRI within 7-10 days you know the whole Ghana
cover the whole Ghana
ala wia no
oh lano ha
you to wia obo say yes agro the
any form inti yedibesi yase yeda wase papa hope say there na voter ni otino awo kɔ no so no so do yire bɛkɔ
obekɔ kɔ bonyum gra wo hono mam
enti cheta wo yire tua opa cheta obia na obi president Kwame so yire bɛka no ho ana
me say cheta o de wonya abotre na mo de mbemu yebema other parties no pressure omo agazo omo say yes
ana chese Patricia Christabel adutwa Chiramatin so e de asa no be gina mu agina ne kunu nkyɛn
odo kwa me we fi ye odo ana offer eastern region eda na bam odo eda fa
to babasia no o de eastern no bonobo
o de bonobo straight
anima do asifu yi
what the bonobo straight
anima do asifu yi o babasia na ne edin o
yo na ne edin papa
right
o we say no ne KLM na yaduma
senior marketing guru
national you know why you be na there dey ba
na why na ehwe Greater Accra so
Greater Accra na get say Bobia Chamwane Bishop S.I. Mensa man kiti binti afi ayi kakra beba
edin beba
afi nipa obeba ho no minim se konkosi ayi no di ensaka because say YB chief are call no say ese odwen no wa chanti region no that is say yehwe nipa foforo no yedi na nine
it just say YB no becomes a permanent feature around a chief. Now I say chief we are Shanti region now obesa akobua.
Yeah, obe Chris Cross.
Chris Cross akobua as and when.
Obe Chris Cross.
Edin baako in the 5 northern regions in that say manoki kame me pese me de ka ho na me ko kan so no enipa bi so yamba hye omo. 5 northern regions no edin baako a wono so beboa eye Abubakar Siddiq ene
Dr. Abu Sakara
no Edin ba
Henry Asante
Edin baako bi susu wo mu na maye din
Bala so
Martin
Bala no na ye PNC chairman
ai
wada see yempo ana wa beka yen hu
maya de pa se matimi amobilize
na chanti region so de say uni say odiken so eka la ho ana omo ne ya chanti region
ai
nti aja ono na bedane ala nti say akufo adu campaign no o ka say wi anu atonza prala na ala to so akata
say de say akwasi ade
e ti am de say na manhia abonasu no mo hira no
say ya abonasu ni ya hira no agina tumu
enti hira na agina tumu
and go and say no more my idea papa
do what go and say no more
right enti yes so ya wo chire monitamo na the big program in the Greater Accra, Takoradi, Kumasi, Tamale, and Tachimano. That big program also come about. Why?
Oh,
program never basso papa. Yo, the commander, you do as for now. Mudru just what you see no. Na wakati fiano amia swati. Why? Right. Hopes na doye and also Alan Martin for the Caravan campaign and Onocha Martina leading in the Asante, Ahafo, and Western North, and hopes na doye LED in the Volta and Oti region, and Ohininto, Grace Ashi, also LED in the Bono region, and a warlord Tahiru, former MPP chairman in the Bana Time area, and also LED in the Bono East One Pupa. Na Finsusono Abu Sakara. Yayenuya Abubakar Siddiq also leading in the 5 northern regions. Nipani become one. There's a particular name. More of also Musia Wantia Hunsa and then also Western and Central so no Kwame Owusu Danso so in the Eastern region Mrs. Patricia Christabel Aduchua Shemating and also no in charge of the Eastern region. Na Greater Accra na Yabuabing former member of parliament for Adentang and also in charge of Greater Accra. But Alan has recalled him, say he should be a permanent feature around him until a new name will come up. He's a lawyer, he's a great man, and sooner than later, honestly, meet me here na maka ede achrom. Until back to the studios. Now, you know, Yani Musa Dankwa, Emrami Diankomo. I mean, reading messages, Kakram Famano.
Listening here, and no man better to me Baba no one dear no. Come so to me. Hey, I saw, hey, now Becca. Ya John to mammy and Sa Duku, Portomanto. This way chocolate drink. Nakan watch shit. Amphibian super renew our renia. This way chocolate drink. Nakan ya. Oh, I saw. We don't come on to more. Maybe one wants to share crowd ya can. Who had your weapon home. Okasa Batatia, and a form one. This way chocolate drink.
Catch up a pair, Baba Wari.
I saw.
Yefia said this way chocolate drink. Yes, sorry, no pan. Yeah, bishop free genome no snack. Yenya ho no ye de serve wo mo. Ye didi wie ne ye pebibia bogu ya de so a. This way chocolate drink ne yenom. And this way no ti anu a, he se kire wom, kwakwo wom, prick wom, bibia wom, ade wo hia ne so hye.
This way chocolate drink.
De wo hia ani so hye.
FDA ahwehwe se adwede nkratoe mo agye atum se eye.
What's cool, fresh and trendy with a new look? Makes you feel real good, that refreshing vibe. Satisfies you right just the way you like. Do you know? Do you know? Do you know? Ain't gotta do it alone. Specialized makes you flow. Anytime, anywhere. Specialized feel different. Always think specialized. Special Ice Natural Mineral Water. Feel different. Think special. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
NIT 100.9 FM so any na Ura Musa Dankwa and oye Global Info Analytics panyina yene no AD enkomo na nsam de edoso na yenhwe se de besi afa na yede akro na nsam a eda ho no say new poll field survey ode aba no na Sandra Banafo osi ya na ha adakabere how say Musa Dankwa da bia na ode Alan onka so be win da na and die wa mai mape na meye enye die meme pe enka ne ke kasa de enka Musa Dankwa de meme pe na oyama me dia enko oyama me ana Musa mboa
ana tie
die wa mai ma epe na Musa Dankwa oye inti me so me nka se de ode ba ye bi nya me de inti because of that no menya ho adwuma ye nyina no ye ntie bi na ye form your preferences na Ghana enim kunim said the anopay what is Dr. Bosman Asari na all count Peace FM on na ya kesetnas you know said the udi kan so tin nra say Mrs. Jean Mensa on so kan ye Ghana for pe na easy no obeye did the Ghana for pe na Musa Dankwa beye the Ghana for pe na ADAKABRI beye it is Musa Dankwa ye bibi na nya ADAKABRI eda ontimi nka say no ntino ye programmer menka Musa Dankwa ni post ho asem enti wudi kan yen sample size no enti 92% completion rate, that is of the 8,206 persons now questionnaire no koto o manimo no emu 7,509 and a respond here yes 92% completion rate,
yeah, which means almost 30 years and I'm the ko ewie if wo ho a odun fifian so mabre we nya daje meko
yamanoko obi am for so bia okay. And field interviews were conducted between September 20 to September 28. Okay. Tafe pambe suna munyaye face to face using assisted personal interviews as anything.
You use computer, tablet, and mobile phone devices. Inti ushiano na wasi me ye opinion poll efa Ghana amato political issues and national issues. But obonye na be 5 minutes mama na me no wadi nkita ho. Okase anya no wayi phone na wa start. Inti only the nkita ho na ye nya response no e wo head office ha.
Oh sir?
Yes.
Real live.
Real time, yes.
Inti send nipa no nyina na mo akosto wo mo go through questionnaire no. Sa respondents no omu nyina ewo 18.8 million voter list no.
Absolutely. Before no na ye interview obia wadi 18. So what register your interview. But since I easy ewie ni voter registration no ya stop afi omo ayno mkasa bia na omo reason beto aba omo EC card.
At what point na mutimi hu say a registered voter?
You be someone another first question we ask you.
It's the first question is that we are registered voter.
We there be na oko.
Na demographics no na more particular age group bi a mo hwehwe wo mo male or female.
There be a random sampling. Into random no so we di 18 na we register na una dingita ho. So we di 18 na on register ya.
Na wajana man kono be.
So we ni yen body nkita ho ye ma quota for a money member and the homogeneous in the field. At least a 50% and 49%. So that fair balance.
Only the number of persons are
yes,
all targeted on.
Yes, and a mass MRC. But as for your agent, the enfano. Yes.
The movie and some mass segregated.
Yeah,
age.
Absolutely.
At what point, and I'm mutiming a party or support to an answer or sympathize with?
And a very last question. Because your understanding says, on backward disclosure say we're MPP and our NDC. One share, why not be mono or NDC for more and NDC for more?
Distortion be beba.
Into Umanu who say that question beba. What you crown last question no or can't won't be Sanajin view.
Okay, we call my responses
in the case where MPP near the outcome only means
and doesn't affect anything.
Anything.
In 20 minutes, I feel them percent.
David.
When you can read. Now, on average, almost spend how many minutes with a respondent?
7 minutes.
Within 7 minutes, they would have finished with the questionnaire.
Yes, 7 minutes.
Okay. Now, how do we assess truthfulness?
You see, the system no, your average interview. Into quality control. What me picking will be responses. No, I share how many minutes. So we have much lower than 7 minutes. You're intervening, we call you. So I don't know, be take you be 7 minutes.
But now
one day take you 3 minutes. We call you. Now you the reason why. Sometimes no more reasons. I thought you will know because that's your spirit. You know the work. So I thought you will say, okay, this is how you do it. Guide it. Member amount for NT answers will be ma. Sometimes so will be response will be ma. Or do this or can the same tonight fast. Okay. So we try to make sure between the one side. Only no one-on-one, man to man, or man to woman. Number we are picking the open for us. And now one thing said we don't interview more than 3 people in the group.
Okay.
We can on 15 to her and so many interview them. I don't be NDC for just pick it 1 or 2 no okay. Even if you have to do more sampling, we don't encourage you to do it in a place where
I can't bomusa.
Yes.
Now capacity at the head office to monitor field operators no. The head office capacity net is saying
a computer system. Say machine who say there are issues are be flagging. Ubie responses no. Roll it no. You who say red flag. So you go and attack the red and open the red flag. Why is it being flagged as red? Because answer bear 1, 2, 3 no. The pattern is the same. That's how the machine was AI.
There's a very AI so back home.
Oh yes.
I'm a multimedia assessing
absolutely. I'm for the actually one year there.
Who they no day and they are nuances and fact you know.
Yeah. The field officer I interview you 4. Now response to the same pattern. Machine flag say.
You know.
Yeah, check it.
When your recent additions to the capacity of personnel at the head office at the university, Professor B and Dr. B.
Yes, Dr. Eugene.
Dr. Eugene.
From UCC, yes.
From UCC.
On our handle, Western and Central regions. Yes. Oh, yes. And another gentleman, also a data expert, our joining, Mr. Salam Insia, also engaged with the media on our behalf.
Do you have a regional sample allocations? No. Greater Accra, you are saying 1,612. Asante, you are saying 1,373. Eastern, you are saying 813. Central, you are saying 710. Western, you are saying 599. Northern, you are saying 597. Volta, you are saying 467. Bono, 315. Bono East, 285. Upper East, 284. Western North, 250. Upper West, 226. Savannah, 170. Uti, 169. Ahafo, 168. Northeast, 149. How did you arrive in this allocation to various regions?
We use the EC, sample for an EC register. With the register, no, a crown and a dorsum in terms of voters, followed by Ashanti region, Eastern, and in that order. So, Sunday is the sample. So that young man will be also be to distort the sample. For example, Oma Ashanti region bear 1,000, now Oma voter region bear let's say 1,200.
Okay.
Maybe a banner dose no. A whole and sample.
And the sample regional level, na when your samples no. And so at the regional level must have a constituency level.
The constituency are more bigger sample size, no, not almost so many the same location. Yes.
You might say,
but because it's been computerized, it's much easier.
The computer assisted, AI assisted,
absolutely.
Artificial intelligence.
Yes.
That
is how far we have gone.
And to do maybe a Dr. Bishop also AI no Musadamka.
Oh yes.
And then you are talking about the gender. A mema 54% and a ma 46%, totaling 100%. Moya then amos who say mema do say the same.
Say you can normally no you bisao. Would you say you are male or female?
Who was a questionnaire no?
Yes, because your other genders were.
Your other gender.
Yes.
Apart from Obani Beman.
Oh, Unimana.
Transgender or LBTQ.
We have them in a sample, but we're so small, say you can't show them on the chart.
So they are able to admit?
Yes, they admit, yes, openly in the field. Because when you're about your Bema. And you created that other gender, no, not first name.
And the other gender, not just your mood is a transgender, and now say bisexual, and one say other gender.
Any sexual orientation.
Sexual orientation.
Any different from gender.
Any different. The gender, the music, Obani Bema.
No, or dominant of certain both.
Or your bar as no be a mema no more.
Exactly.
Nekukusu and Nekukusu ding.
So we get some of them from the field.
And they just the new Musu Abeka.
No. They are openly telling us. Because
some are honest.
No, they are honest. They are honest because on your Bema or you see. So now am I a problem in the field? So we have to create that column.
Other gender.
Other gender. Or other, yes.
Then they just other gender for some way the bar. Then we come to the
let me see. I think Yenya Bako Medina.
A Medina Haya.
Yes.
Other gender or
Bako.
Wallahi.
Bako so Enya Biwo
Hey. Other gender pa. When you banya bema.
On your banya bema.
And you go you be see Bongo so.
It's them. Yes, Bongo.
Bako.
Yes. So
when me admit it to them.
No, they do. You see, because you're very professional organizations. You're quite for the tags.
Yes.
Almost invest.
Yes.
So when we say we do our work professionally, so they are more honest with us than any other people who go into the field. And almost you're doing on air, so they are openly engaging with us.
I go be better on social media. Also, one in the bush you have 14 if you can more say, "Kamu bebam ne guam."
Let me tell a story here.
Tell us.
Dom Kwabinya Agbogba.
Dom Kwabinya.
Yes. Yeah. One of our officers went to Agbogba. And Nipa Kushi, I don't know. And I was also offered Global Info. I say, hey, my boss, you know. He happened to be my childhood friend's brother. In fact, they be a meet if you ho. So I say, oh, are you sure? I say, friend of mommy, she called me. And or the Mr. No. And so, Mr. No, Mr. Dankwasi. So look, people testify.
Say they
know us. Global Info for so this is how we are greeted.
I was one in a year in a ma. I didn't think I go train one and go guam or train mama. It go go say Munko ground sir.
Look. Following, they see every step that we take. Last time I in Sunechi, Yeji Suruho.
And Makango.
Masa, we could have one day and some with my interview bear 40. We have to bear those costs. of 4.2. The risk, canoe, almost a life jacket.
Hey,
we go through a lot.
Through that
risk. We go through that a lot. So, a bar, look, we are very confident about what we see.
And then the age group, we'll say between 18 to 24, we interview a 19%. And between age 25 to 34, in Nipano 32%, and a bemu. And age 35 to 44, 30%. And 45 to 54 age, and also 14. And 55 to 64, and so 4%. And then over 65, 1%. Let's just say youth are in charge.
They are in charge. In fact, 51% of the voters are below 34 years.
50%.
Yeah,
of the voting population of 18.8 million. Over 50%.
Yes.
Hey.
So they have a big stake in what is going to happen.
It just was policies plans are banning in Ano. It should be geared towards the youth.
Yes, they say we are no longer a dominant force.
So the youth should take charge.
Absolutely.
And the employment status. 51% of the people you spoke to, the respondents, 19% are students. And then unemployed are 28%. And pensioners are 2%. Then we go to the educational level. Senior high school, 42%.
Very high.
Very high. So the highest educational level
in Ghana today is
senior high, 42% of the respondents. And then JSS, 19% of the respondents. And then tertiary, 24% of the respondents. And then no qualification, ADEMSA, 16%. Okay. And then about religion, 66% of the respondents are Christians. And 22% of the respondents are Islam, Muslim. And then 5% of the respondents are traditional African belief. And then 4% are non-religious. And 3% here others. Yanu Obra Musa Dankwa, or executive director, Global Info Analytics, and Entry and Como, plain language, and last field survey, over 8,200 persons, the 92% of it were able to complete 7,509 persons. And moon common yedi. Then of the 66% now, omuye Christians, denominations, yes, Pentecostal 21%, Catholic 17%, Methodist 16%, Presbyterian 16%, Charismatic 14%, others 7%, Anglican 6%, SDA 3%, and Jehovah Witness for no also 1%. Islamic sects no so no bobo mamintie.
Sunni, friend Sunni for 46%. And Ahmadiyya 22%. Others 12%. Tijaniya 11%. And Shia 9%. Over ethnic groups now accounts 46%. Moli the Gbani 11%. Ewe 10%. 10% other tribes. Ghana Dangbe 10%. Gwans 6%. Grushi 3%. Gruma 2%. Mandi 1%. And Guru 1%.
It not just ethnic groupings no so. I can for us dominate to has say 46%.
Yes. And that is in line with the GSS.
GSS no. Okay. And as it is no. Na ye hunu nipa 8,200 no air responding no. Almost complete ye 92% no. And when the year far way in percentages no. At the free. So And a quarter up say party affiliations and so on. MPP for no 36%.
Yes.
And NDC for 33%. And floating voters near 15%. And others near 4%. And not disclosed 12%. The dangers of not disclosed.
Only dangerous. When you face or MPP ni and NDC ni, it's on country.
Usun to be M4.
So say medium say MPP ni and I'm NDC. I'm being country.
Afemi yanko a governance and performance. Direction of the country. How is the country? Where are we heading? If we make a comparative analysis of July poll and October poll, yeah.
Yeah, the polling has been stable
and consistent
for the past 2 years. Wrong direction has been between 70 and 60%.
That bracket. It's just a wrong direction as a crystallize you.
Yes, for some time now.
That man is like a good mic, no mommy.
Not July, 63%. The wrong direction. I feel a Swati echo 62%. Just 1% drop. Almost the right direction no. From 27, echo 31, up about 4%. No opinion, a Swati from 10 to 7%. So generally, majority of Ghanaians are saying say bien namno enye.
Including a party affiliations in Bamukrano. In Yampan say in July, the party affiliation Ukrabemwa MPP4 at a point 64% are saying that the country is headed for the wrong direction.
64 near right direction.
The right direction.
Yes.
And 32%
say wrong direction.
But and then
if your other parties know wrong direction 88% for NDC4. Floating voters 74 say wrong direction. Other parties 76%. And I will not disclose 65%.
And the MPP for 32% said the country is headed for the wrong direction. No.
Yes.
Is it significant?
It is a third of the party base, and I think you see, it's sincere reflection of what they believe is going on. Sometimes you can't be extremely partisan. Say ekoyi, kasa ekoyi, enkoyi iswa na enkoyi. Let's be honest.
Enkoyi ananza ode eye baluta nyumi yesiso. Enkoyi mama. Strong. And then let's look at the president's job approval, the ratings, and then also comparative analysis of July and October.
July not approved 35%. October or September ending 36%. Only 1% increase.
Marginal increase. But it's just a crystallized or for more.
I know, and then the rest of the country has been at the same level for more than 2 years.
One will be wondering why a statistic could remain static for that long period.
It tells you, sir, the sampling is excellent.
Sampling, no,
excellent.
Say,
papa,
there's a level of consistency.
Absolutely, consistency. That will not change because you see, say a coy or more, people give the president the credit.
But once a group of say yeah, na speculations also, and people follow.
The issue is about people's personal
perception
and experience.
Because disapproved, no. I am saying
60% in July. I feel a cut down to 59%. The almost free, no, in fact,
disapprove, ever approve.
Yes, by 1%. I don't actually say the race and the polling numbers are very, very stable.
The race and the polling numbers. Standard of living. How do we measure it?
One of the most important questions to voters.
Almost sitting them. ɔhwɛ na setena mu no ɔde to aba no.
Absolutely. So you should pay attention to what they say about Omasetenemu, and they're the most important measure as to how they will vote. So we are incumbent now. Western, West, very higher. It means you're on your way out.
So, standard of living, compared in the previous 12 months, tell us between July and October.
July, not 47% say it has gotten worse. In September, October, almost say 46, only 1% drop. It means it's not coming down fast enough.
Yes. Hey, as a man,
see, I improve. Went up from 21% to 25%. A slight improvement, but it came from no opinion for any more improvement, and on change, so about down. So the movement was really along. Almost say no opinion on society, and then it went here. But not generally, almost say and remain static.
Omuna sa the baluta omuna sa no koyi this is fear and ne personally na how optimistic say normal be improve no young konko are you optimistic it will improve in the next 12 months? What are they telling us?
No, November last month 20%, still 20%, and now I'm say yes it will improve. No, a jump quite huge, significant from 21 to 40%.
Optimism, article from Kra. Skepticism na abem.
Not sure for no about down. Almost I think
from 58 to 40% between July and October.
And I almost call yes, color. So something is making them feel say the future is bright.
Something is making them feel say the future is bright. Maybe I presumably thinking say na elections by your good
no, it goes beyond that. You see, Osha that response now. You can check and see who they were voting for.
Anticipation.
Oh,
so you can measure the anticipation.
Yeah, you can measure the anticipation and see whether it is optimism based on potential change in the presidency. And I said then.
Then the state of corruption in Ghana. A comparative analysis of July 2024 and October 2024. Yani Global Info Analytics, Musa Dankwa, and a Komo on comprehensive field poll till the last week of September. Normal publishing on Tuesday, October 1.
Osha Omamasi is getting worse. I jumped from 47% to 52%. 5 points increase. Getting worse. Improving a drop from 21 to 20%. No change, a drop 27, 24%. No opinion, a drop from 5 to 3%. So things on corruption is not getting better for the government.
Nah, sir, movement from 47 to 52, no. A dear no more kind, a dear no more tier, a dear na heighten.
You see, so we are poll now within this polling cycle, no, there are allegations of corruption.
Allegations of
corruption.
Perception of corruption.
Na example.
It is publication of such allegations, is enough.
It heightens the awareness, or create awareness, and people begin to react.
It is a allegations now. We should be responsible.
Yes.
Not throw in wild allegations. Because a informal and a heightened crop for the confidence in the Ghana Police Service, presently as led by Dr. George Akufu Dampare. I see confidence in the security services in the elections. That is their ability to help secure a free, fair elections in Ghana. And our response is necessary.
Now, July, 58%. I feel a cost to 64%. So people are having confidence in the police service. I'm seeing no confidence in Eswati from 33 to 26%. And no opinion, a cost by just 1 point. So generally, a positive for the police service is seeing, or the security services are seeing an improvement in the confidence that people have in them with the elections coming.
And significant.
Very significant, yes. Very significant.
6 percentage points.
Yes. In polling, to move from 1 and 2, 3, and yet easy. That's why Mr. Bahama, now the rating 1%. Now it doesn't move that much. So for the service to have this kind of big increase, it's quite remarkable.
Now, Basa, what are they doing right?
You know, say public really say they are handling issues professionally. When it comes to election matters, then you see the confidence going up. For example, I think it was not long after the voter display in this survey. So maybe their behavior and the professional handling of the voter exhibitions and the issue that arose could have led to this increase in confidence.
Then we look at the confidence in the Electoral Commission. Sir?
Now, we also saw an increase of...
I said, you see, if the responses had captured the CNRA, perhaps it could be beyond 60%.
You see, sometimes the perception we think is out there is not what is out there.
Could it be, sir, anticipation, or more no free share, there's a change oncoming, it may heighten or more belief in say a normal may be well in the coming days.
I think
could that be say 1 at 10 if we say Electoral Commission is not handling a normal be in the minds of them against a particular be a group in a belong to?
It's a combination of factors.
And
now, Ube Kaiswa, Tama issues no buy about voter registration. I think EC was open and discussing, so among who said BB and Kuyo. Yes, those kind of things are confidence building things. Are what the EC
because when a telecast the iPad no crash so no assign ma confidence because to say utie comments a chairperson of the commission. Utie concluding comments about Masari on Peace FM. It builds on consensus. So
I think when that is present, people have confidence in the EC. I think
so. They should go on that tangent.
Absolutely.
And speak
engagement.
Engagement.
I think the more you engage openly, and also when things are not going right, don't just deny them. So we who say we so all those things help the
because I wish the tone was Manasari de Casa no pay say it is not in the interest of EC say and no political party wedding or 4 political parties so it is not in the interest of the EC say we be winning and we be winning the Juma Noah and that one processes and the year say this language are soothing,
yes,
are encouraging,
yes,
and today should go on that tangent,
absolutely,
and perhaps 60%, as at end of September, and then
it could go up.
It could go up.
In fact, we share some of the survey that has come out on EC confidence now. I think we are the only ones that are showing say EC has a high confidence.
Yeah.
Some of the barometers that we know is not good for EC, but I think we are much more broader in terms of our coverage.
Yeah.
And, your response tend to reflect what is currently happening. And because every 90 days, you're able to track the changes that are happening. We in once a year, you don't actually see the improvement.
Because in July, you are saying say the confidence level, positive confidence level was 53%. And now there's a 7% increase to 60%.
Yes.
And every single day, Biano, activities, we are focused on what EC is doing. Until they have Obaka say an opportunity to increase every single day.
Absolutely.
One would have thought say by end of November, no more hover around 80% grana.
Absolutely. That would be
okay. They should, let's encourage them to do what is right and open up. So said they have nothing to hide. Now we got time one. Samson Ladi, Ebusa was Manasari on
forensic audit,
forensic said that Ebusa on news far.
Yeah.
So,
what would you lose?
What would you lose? It is a question now. Samson Ladi Busa was Manasari. No, because we won't lose anything. Now, but nebe mu apeno. Na obia adwina so one would have thought that Kibenya complete response without the but.
No, but you see, if you are in the EC shoes, we go straight to audit now. It will create an impression say only incompetent.
So we go straight to the audit now. It will come out as such.
And you know, let them do what they can do internally.
Yeah.
And there are things that you wouldn't want them to do it on their own because you want a third party to say what you have is sufficiently and robust enough to secure the election. And no, I think it could be on other aspects of the system and not the entire register. But
and also, you share communication more because contrasting the tone of the chairperson and Nura Sedu Sikasaye. And then with the back drew from the tone of Boss Manasari and the Kasa ne Peace FM na. Unmu said the tone no is a complete departure from previous year. In Yondus, a year Boss Manasari no ado tutuma a year president NDC for Tete Susu do onso kekai.
No, I think those kind of things are not helpful.
In fact, Omaya they say fitinura the Oma Shasi Omoyano. They should continue on that tangent.
It will create a calming environment in the room, and the cool heads will always prevail.
And the cool heads would always prevail. Na yanya magnanimous in our admission say way then yes be a be say
absolutely
need to be building the confidence level no this higher or cast will be abejedi.
Yes.
Because and okay can Franklin Kuju as a still ano or no the saw I can't saw and I can't say saw me I rather want to say saw or no the see saw no I said wonya GD but for Franklin we will get there.
They will give you MP very soon.
For Franklin we will get there. It all my mistakes are young can but we young can with the view say they should improve.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Then Galamsey, Almighty Galamsey, Yadi Musa Dankwa was executive director Global Info Analytics. Na field survey anaba and ye did one come away. Galamsey measures against Galamsey. Do you support? And he was that question. You should not forget the Asat and Nra organized labor say by a year October 10. Omo enkwajuma indefinitely as a result of the government's failure to adhere to 4 demands via a dahonum. It yenhwe as at September ending a year respondents no the omo ka kire yen
overwhelmingly 89% say some sort of banning must happen.
89% of Ghanaians.
Yes.
Total ban 47%.
Yes.
And then temporary ban 42%. Up to say a year or two.
So
a year 42%.
So if you are a government, this should be what you should be looking at. The whole country is against what is going on, and they want something to be done immediately. Mm-hmm. So you can't pretend you haven't seen this poll.
You cannot pretend.
You cannot pretend.
Say 89% of Ghanaians.
Yes.
Are saying
total ban 47%. Temporary ban 42%.
Now we are asking, how likely is Galamsey going to influence your vote? Because that is where the apprehension comes in. So we'll be pleased you
see, and I have a very different view on that. You have to be very smart with data. How many areas of the country do you have Galamsey going on?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But the Galamsey could affect the entire country one day.
Yeah. Because seats no 100 seats cry.
No.
Maybe I'm saying no 100 seats.
But you have 276 constituencies.
Yes.
That will decide. If a time will come, not Indians you numa, Ube or Wale is concerned about that. Because you see, when it costs to refine or purify water by Ghana water, tariff no, I'm saying one can you. So, because of the increase in cost of treating water in Chaban and in the Akano, the cost of that treatment will be shared among Ghanaians everywhere. So people will react even though Galamsey is not affecting them directly.
Okay. Because they can imagine what could be for them. As a survivor.
In fact, we've seen a data from what we analyze the IA. Areas are Galamsey, no, they are more concerned about Galamsey. Galamsey.
That's a
exactly. So you have to be very, very careful how you handle this case. Because it could blow up to become a big election issue.
It is now. Because now there is a demand for political actors to sign a pact saying, they will not do this, they will not do that. And they want to take a cue from what the current government will do. Now, if you know what's a pact to say, the current government is saying, that total ban, no, state of emergency, our water bodies, our forest reserves, say also sign a pact. Say one so no, say Galamsey our water bodies no, Galamsey our forest reserves.
Offer. Do we need a pact to enforce this?
A commitment from you.
The law is there. The law and pact, which one is stronger?
There has to be an amendment of certain laws.
So all this part is just academic exercise.
You certain laws to free or enforce so.
That's all.
Stringently.
That is all. Apart from the okay, my sign mean so. It's a same manifesto.
So 43% are saying Galamsey is likely to influence their vote.
Yes.
And 19% are saying they are neutral. And then 38% are saying it is not likely it will affect their vote.
Will it stay like this? Or it will spike when
it's a strike in November? Because it's a survivor issue.
Absolutely.
And then you be so I say just on the spare and
No.
A festa over a period
of time, long time.
Yani Musa Dankwa, on the executive director of the Global Info and Electrics, and Etretre and Como, and we need 100.9 FM na on the kum. Now there is this question. Dr. Muhammad Baumia says he is just the driver's mate and that he cannot be blamed for the current economic crisis as a mate. Do you agree with this statement from the vice president? And tell us the narrative.
I mean, this has been one of the excuses we've been told on the campaign platform.
This has been the narrative out there. Not an excuse.
Okay.
Say excuse.
Okay.
This is the narrative out there.
Sorry for the language.
Language, politically correct language.
59% said they don't agree with him.
They don't agree for him to make that assertion?
No.
That's a huge number.
Huge number. Only 32 said they agree with him. And 9% did not have opinion. So absolutely, overwhelmingly, people don't agree with him.
So they should not go on that tangent?
No, they shouldn't. We're free advice from Ghanaians.
Right. Share election violence. And also a very key factor. It can contribute to apathy, where people are afraid to even step out because of violence.
I think generally, measure environment, I don't think there is fear of violence. But people have some level of concerns.
Yeah.
And about 29% are extremely concerned. About 17 are moderate concern, slightly concerned 17%, somewhat concerned 21%, and not concerned at all 15%.
So kaboom, 29 plus 17 plus 17 plus 29, 21.
Nearly about 85%.
85% of Ghanaians. A kind of concern that violence may break out.
Yes.
So we are asking, whose job may it be? Say, ombitimi astemu, declining concerning
political utterances.
Political utterances.
Yes. Political utterances.
And political utterances can say heighten people's fear. Okay, manifestos. Manifestos. So we are asking a question. Is Ghana ready for a female president? Are we ready for a Kwiadonko? Who say
the poll says 52% said no.
Yampoba
Dabi.
Yanyoba Chief Justice. Yanyoba Speaker of Parliament. Na
President is almost enjoying.
President enjoying.
But you see, sometimes it's because they haven't seen
a
very viable candidate in the sector. That person could be an option. See, it tells you say maybe the pack we have now is how they are looking at the presidency. Maybe if in the future we have one of the big parties nominate a female, it could change the narrative.
And and the future is for the youth. Now the highest we have now is a major party brings in a female running mate. A potential president in the making, in the unlikely event of any incapacitation on the part of the president, Obeba be the president. Honestly, AG, na as a part na really say, and quadrebu or honomwana, because as obey or all the competences, so be to me, aye baby, don't know. Na the age could be the only factor if we have a youth dominated political culture. Yeah, how it goes. Now we are into the general elections of 2024. Key election issues. Tell us what the top issues are.
It hasn't changed for the past 2.5 years.
Consistent. Topmost.
Economy number 1. Jobs number 2. Education number 3.
Into economy, jobs, education, top 3. And then, as a Galamsey doesn't feature in it. They just say, in having to couch issues for election 2024, no, as a Galamsey appear to have been taken out of it or what?
It would have been part of other reasons.
Other reasons, no.
But so the way they react, so Omar Galamsey is now on his own.
Just a Galamsey stand alone.
Then you can see how they react to it.
Okay.
We know your Maupai selected more than 3.
Yes.
Out of the 3, no. Say a common deal. Now, Uhia Juma, Galamsey doesn't come nearer to that.
David.
Immediate, yes.
Economy, jobs, education. Okay. And then roads, 24% roads.
Yes.
Healthcare, 25%. Taxes, 20%. Corruption, 18%. Petroleum prices, 10%. Water, 8%. Security, 5%. Party member, what's the meaning of party member? 3%.
Party.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we meet to for no. I say, which of the following candidates do you believe understands and cares for people like you?
Okay.
That's the voter psychology.
Yes, absolutely. You see, your BBFN of research triangulation. You want to see whether what they will tell you at the tail end, no, are they consistent? Are they truthful? So you ask them this question in a different way. Oma doing say you want to find out that they are being truthful or not. And who would you vote for? David. Who do you think understands and care for people like you? They often say or drink what mama wono. I don't know a man chance but to abano amano.
And 44% are saying say John Dramani Mahama.
Yes.
And then 37% are saying say Dr. Mahmoud Baumia. And then 4% are saying say Alan Shomating. And then 6% are saying say Kwambi Diakon. And then 8% are saying say none of them.
None of them.
And then 2% are saying someone else.
Yes. One trick they say we someone else is in chain because Omo can listen. None of them is in chain. Now working number no back again.
Backer.
Mama will go to 50%.
It's a cross.
Yes. So indirectly you can see who
there's a correlation between
this answer and who would you vote for.
Who would you vote for? And then we go to the next question, which is who has the competence, experience, and track record to better manage the economic crisis if elected? That's what I'm saying.
We are in crisis. So you wouldn't want to elect somebody who you don't believe can handle the crisis if he's elected. So maybe you're doing why not do one better than they will think and think, hey, look, on this issue, I think I'll put my party aside. This guy is competent, I'll vote for him. On this issue, I think my party guy is not the best. This guy is the best. So I'm doing on mine who in that critical way, they will take the best decision.
JDM 46%, GMB 36%, Alan Chematin AKK 4%, Cheddar Bediakon 5%, someone else 2%, and then none of them 7%. Then we go to which of the following candidates do you trust to keep Ghana safe and bring people together after the elections? 49% are saying JDM.
Yes. And
then 40% are saying DMB. Chematin AKK 6%. Gabi Bediakon Cheddar 5%. And the question is, which of the following candidates do you trust to keep Ghana safe and bring people together after the election? And JDM at 49%, right?
Yes. Now, Yeninaha. Once a Drew Hano, once a Cheddar or low.
Yes.
This is where the statesmanship comes in the mind of the voter.
Okay. In the mind of the voter.
They like him. But I say, we come together and see.
Now we go to the voting intentions.
Yes.
In the voting intentions, there's one aspect, the likely voters. Who are the likely voters?
Almost say about number 2. Either they've already made up their mind who they want to vote for, or they are undecided. The two groups are what we call likely voters.
They have made up their minds to vote, and they have indicated Nipa Krono.
Yeah, that's one group.
Or they are undecided as now.
As now, yes.
Into now, 49.3% NDC John Dramani Mahama, 35.9% DMB MPP, 3.9% Alan Chematin Independent, and then 6.6% Bediakon Cheddar, and then others LPG Apollo. Okay.
As I regard, the but they can't add this on one can't add this
on Gardens. Ojina Brane. Okay, Tiazangobium. Voting intentions, the likely voters, and we are led to believe, say, likely voters near or more almost signal yes, 2024.
Yes.
Now almost signal I say, be cry, you better my way, and I better my way. And the one more on better, and so, and nadia, Omunya undecided Nippon Betraman any. JDM and then the NDC 49.3%. Dr. Mahmoud Baumia and then the MPP 35.9%. Alan Chematin as an independent movement for change 3.9%. Nana Kwame Bediakon as an independent candidate in the new force, 6%.
Mami more the can abbreviations.
The other Bobo Mami.
Kofi Akpalu 0.1%. Christian Kwabena Andrews 0.3%. Asan Ariga APC 0.2%. Chum Berima Independent 0. Nana Akosia Kumankuma CPP 0.3%. And Ekuyadonko GFP 0.2%. Dr. Danlati GCPP 0%. Mohammed Frimpong NDP 0%. And Kofi Kuranti and Kofi Independent 0.1%. And undecided 3.5%.
This is Ekuyadonko cry adio. In terms of numbers, Ekuyadonko also 7 out of 13. Yeah, no. Then we go to the voting intentions. Likely voters.
Where a summary so that
summary of it. I clear now. Then we come to the committed voters.
Yes.
The weighted. I want to say no. Committed voters weighted. As the voting intentions 2024 pool, likely voters weighted. Likely voters no me know what it is. And I feel the weighted abekam.
Weighted no say yenim nipa do a me MP before e Ghana. Nipa do a me NDC for terms of percentages. Floating voters. We are keeping that data for the past 2.5 years. So we are sampling. Now you should expect MPP 33%. Now economy 40%. It means in that survey you have oversampled them. ABA Ukoina MP for your program bina, Matem Honina MP before. So you can't control that people because you don't know who they are before you talk to them. I don't know. Instead of 44% MPP, no, 50. You say medium back to that level of 44, no, so that the sample will be smoothing out.
Okay.
We are. Then you have what we call the weighted.
Weighted number.
No. And any average more objective
than
the raw data. No. We hear and know Mahama 51.1%. In fact, 51.15%. Baumia 37.3%. Alan 4.1%. Nana Kwambe 6.2%. Others 1.3%. Now, and also you have to be very careful in terms of polling. See, polling, no, you don't just take one single poll and can say and no and a basic because your noise are ever within a polling system. For example, Oko baby na obi in the campaign. Obi so metaman. Unyefri hope now.
You're refino.
You can pick some of those noises over time. But we are consistently polling now. You know, say the average of the responses lies somewhere in the middle. The share average for the past January, April, July, and October now. Mahama Ewo 53% average.
Okay, let's just say the average of 4 polls this year 2024.
Yes, it gives him 53%. And Baumia 36%. Alan 7%. Bediakun 3%. Why won't Bediakun how low?
Yes,
because the improvement happening just this month. So that could be a noise. It may not last.
And over an average of over 12 months,
you will see the smoothness level of every candidate. So as posters, I will rely more on the average than the period polling. Others
other than Jomahama Baumia, it me Ghana 11%. Notwithstanding Yamahama across 50+1.
It's simple. It tells you, said, Mahama support is solid. or NDC is solid behind their candidate. The MPP is not.
You can tell, sir.
You can tell because Alan supporters are coming from, in fact, 71% of people who are voting for Alan are
MPP sympathizers.
MPP sympathizers. 62% are Omotuma Cheddar and Neck. Omotuma Nanado. So they are MPP sympathizers. So
you say Alan and Cheddar are not gleaning
vote from NDC. No. That is why Baumia is low, and that's why people don't understand. Simple mathematics. Where is Alan doing very well? Ashanti region, Central region, and Eastern region. In fact, between Alan and Kwambediako in the Eastern, they are doing 19%.
Hey.
Baumia is on 42%. That's a problem. Naka voter region omunya da 17 kasi mahama.
As for Eastern region.
Yes, and Ashanti region between them they are doing how much?
Hey.
So you see, look at the data. Look at the facts.
When Mentiase also changes in the poll July to October.
Yeah, compare why Nako form, why Nako so between July and October. Between July and October, Mahama has gone up by just 0.05%. Baumia has dropped 0.95%.
Almost 1%.
Alan has dropped 1.23%. Bediako Ekosoro 1.63%. And others no 0.5% increase. So Alan and Baumia dipped in the poll. And the gainers were largely Bediako, others, and Mahama largely unchanged.
Voting intentions by party affiliations, as you're saying.
This is very crucial. Omo say omo ye MPP for why no motuma. Omo ye NDC for why no motuma. And then the crucial floating voters without them no you can't win no. Why no motuma. Now we have another block. Yenim yan kanchiro not disclosed for omo so no why no motuma. Oshia Mahama in July na 95% of NDC for etumano. October that number no equal 96% plus 1. MPP for Omotuma Mahama na 8%. Afi equal 7% minus 1.
Yeah.
Floating voters at Omotuma Mahama na 55%. Afi equal 54% minus 1. Not disclosed for Omon Kanchro na Mahama 41%. Afi equal 51%.
It is a
plus 10%. Huge increase. Uba Baumia, NDC voting for Baumia July 3%. October the same 3%. And the sign. MPP for Motuma Baumia 88% in July. Now 89% plus 1. And floating voters are Omhuhiano na 23%. Afe Eswati 21% minus 2. Omotuma other parties no. Now over 6%. Now over 7 plus 1.
Yeah.
Almost country no. That is where the biggest drop is. Now over 33%
in July.
In July, I feel about 21%. That is huge.
That is a net change of minus 12.
Minus 12.
Over
Alana. In fact, NDC voting for Alan, 1% in July. The same 1% in October. Stable.
Yeah.
MPP Amotuma Alan, 2%. It's still 2%. Alan onya floating, 11%. After Swati about 10%. Minus 1. And other parties now Omotuma Alan, 37%. After Swati 26%. Minus 11. And not disclosed for no mere 12%. After 9. Swati 3%. Uba Bediaku Hua NDC voting for Bediaku 1% and society. And the MPP voting for Bediaku 2% and society. But floating voters voting for Bediaku from 9 to 14%.
5 percentage points.
Among floating voters. Only the third block of voters in this country. And other parties now, or other parties now, Bediaku has gone up from 37 to 49%. Plus 12%.
Yeah.
And I will not disclose no. Only 12% before. Now 16% plus 4%. So this is where you see
the movement.
The movement.
You know, say understanding the movement in the polls, July to October, no.
Yes.
And then I watch the
absolutely.
And then we go to the run-up scenarios.
Just in case. But we believe, sir, there will be no runoff. But just in case, this question, just to see who are your friends and who are your enemies. You be saying, you know, 55% say on Betuama, Mahama. 45 say on Betuama, Baumia. So Mama will win, whether runoff or not, he'll win. Now, Omotuman Alan no, say Alan and Kahubioma, a heifer and on Betuako. And no, the reason why you be sad this question, no, want to see who are your real friends and your enemies. Osha Omotuma Alan runoff 51% to Ama Baomia. 49%
that's Omotuama
Mahama. So between Alan Fono, they are split in the middle. So Oka say maybe Alan Nima or they will come to MPP. You are deceiving yourself. This is the fact. This is the data. Yeah. So Onimwa, where will his followers go? The poll shows say 60% of his followers will go to Mahama. Yes, that's the poll. 40% will go to Baumia. And then Omotuma others no. 67% will go to Mahama. 33% will go to Baumia. This shows say this everybody else is voting against the government.
Run of party affiliations. No?
Yes, okay.
Say
a run of Omam so MP before Ombetune saying. In the run of scenario, no, 8% of MPP voters will vote for Mahama. Runoff. 92% of MPP will vote for Baumia. Uba end this year. Runoff. 3% will vote for Baumia. 97% will vote for Mahama. Here, 97 and 92. What a difference.
5-4.
Yes. And then among the floating voters, 72% Mahama. Over other parties, that is where Baumia gets 56%. Mahama 44%. Now, not disclosed for no, they are largely disgruntled MPP people. Largely. Omumpono, 69% are voting for Mahama.
Hey. As the presidential election key demographics, and you share what mean now you between regional
breakdown.
Or regional breakdown.
Okay, young call regional breakdown and the changes. Slide number, I'm say 98.
Okay, 98.
I have four. Yeah, Mahama column.
Yeah.
Baumia column. And Alan column. So you be Baumia, Mahama, Baumia, Alan, and then Bediako. The rest, read them. Oba I have work. Mahama, 38.8%. Will improve 9.3% compared to July. Baumia, 58.3%. Will improve by 7.5%. So they've all improved in the Afro region. Over Ashanti region, in fact, they are flat. Mahama 22.3. Baumia 66.2. So Mahama went up 0.5. Baumia went up 0.6. So largely the beyond.
Yes.
So over the last 90 days, Ashanti region has not moved.
Yeah.
Which must be a concern because if you want to hit 85% target.
Or that time, you changes.
Absolutely. And this is a time I'm putting the pool and all of those things. So we have not seen movement in the numbers with regards to this poll. Then you have Bono. Mahama 51.2%. Baumia 35.5%. Baumia is down 11.8%. Bono. Mahama is up 6%. Uba Bunu Easter, Mahama is 55.8%. Baumia is 27.4. Baumia is down 2%. 2%. Mahama is up 2.5%.
In the central region.
Central region, Mahama is 45, up 5.6. Baumia is 34.6, up 4.5. They all went up in the central region.
The
Eastern region, that's where it gets really dramatic. Mahama is 34.6, up 0.6. Baumia is 42.5, down 6.9 in Eastern region.
Greater Accra.
Mahama 59.2. And Baumia 33.1. Mahama is down 4.6. Baumia is up 2.4 in Greater Accra.
Yeah.
Back northeast, Mahama 45.1, up 0.4. Baumia is 51.6, down 0.1.
The
northern region, Mahama goes up to 65.6, up 11%. Baumia drops from 43.4 to 29.7.
That is
down 13.7. Over Otia, Mahama 56.8, up 3.4. Baumia 31.1, down 5.2. Savannah, Mahama 70.5, 70.1.
From 70.5 to 70.1.
Just 0.3% drop.
Yeah.
Baumia at 25 was 25.4, now 20.1, down 5%. Upper East, Mahama is down to 58.4, down 3.1%. Baumia is up from 31.9 to 38%, up 6.1% in Upper East. And then Upper West, Mahama 65.3, down 0.8. Baumia 28.6, no 33%, up 4.4. Voter region, Mahama 74.5, down 0.8.
Yeah.
And then Baumia 12.6, down 1.1. Western region, Mahama 49%, down 1.7 from first poll. And Baumia 38.2, up 2.9 from the last poll. And Western North, Mahama 48.8, down 3.6%.
Yes.
And Baumia 38.3, down
0.9.
Now, Yanko Alan anybody in the various regions. Yanshe maybe omunya big numbers. Ufia Bunu Alan on 7%. Bunu is Alan on 5.8. Central 5.5. Eastern 7.7. Oba Bediakon the big numbers. 6.7 our Santi region for Bediakon, which is huge. Oba Bunu is 8.4. Central 11.7 for Bediakon. Eastern region 13.2% for Bediakon. Oko Western region now 7.2. Western North 8.6. So you can see where these independent candidates are doing damages to the main parties.
Unfortunately, I need to see, and we have a better understanding of what is happening, and we will continue to improve upon it. And should anybody be complacent?
No, it's not over until it's over.
It's not over until it's over.
It's over.
Is there a dear being a
from the 15th of this month to 15th of November, you be telephone poles on we're going to be calling over the years. No, your number. We'll call them again randomly. You bet interview about 34% of them will be MPP, 31% will be NDC, floating bear 18%, others bear 3%, and Oma Council maybe around 15%. You better check numbers into groups. Now you free all the numbers until we get that sample and that quota.
Now, under 80 days to the elections, telephone polls, frequency, daily, weekly?
Daily until 15th November.
And you'll be telling us?
No, we won't tell you. We wait until 15th.
15th of November?
Yes.
And there another a poll conducted over the phone?
In fact, I don't know whether we should do daily tracking.
Because daily tracking can give us an idea.
But it means...
at least give me an idea.
Okay, I think we'll think about it. We were thinking of keeping quiet until the end. Publishing it now. Or what we can do is do it weekly so that we can have a good
because sample. Weekly, so that we know where each is headed.
I think we'll do weekly reporting of the telephone polls.
Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, which days?
No, we do it Monday to Saturdays.
Okay, Monday to Saturdays.
Yes.
And then the following Monday we can have an idea.
Yes.
Over the weekend we'll have an idea what's happening.
Yes.
And then the succeeding week, you know, then the account
means we have to add more hands on a telephone.
Boka.
In this go.
Boka.
Alala ya.
Ubaso swa na yasaki kan de patch though.
I mean, see, yes, a company, we are investing into our future.
You are investing into your future.
Into the future. So we are spending money for nothing. Investment. They say, oh, R&D. You don't know whether your discovery will sell well or will be, in terms of those who are doing medicine, ethical. But we have a belief, said, once we get this right in this election, the sky will be our limit.
So boldly, when are you going to tell Ghanaians who is likely to win the December 2024 poll?
By 1st December.
December 1?
Yes.
You'll come out?
Yes, we'll come out.
Who are Kukrodos Aidi?
No, you know what
but
we
if
did.
It goes wrong.
No, they should take my head off.
Hey! Alhamdulillah.
No, we are very confident too.
Yes.
Because you see, what we have seen from data, no one has
seen. And you believe in data?
I believe in data. I will never go against
December
data.
1, Global Info Analytics would be bold enough to tell Ghanaians.
Yes, our predictions, who is going to win, and by what margin.
So
we are here. I'll just hold. Look, I know, sir. Look, let's look at the MPP primaries. If we had gotten that one wrong, by now, yes, but we believe.
But it's more of communication. How you communicate for people to appreciate it. Because so about weighted, and about likely unweighted, and about a yearly average.
A lot of education.
Because
polling, this is the first time they are hearing this in this country. This time, we'll give you details, demography, analytics, trends.
Mr.
Mendasi.
Ura Musa Dankwa, Executive Director, Global Info Analytics, and almost Adwene Ede SC said the polling is ACTA into Nina and say, Yabeda Nasi, na Yadi Asidan so any kabia Ede Ama what ubi asosum the Ubayam Yabikwoti now also do and into what shall see you soon. As a union,
only confidence. We'll be right. You see, the core, whatever the poll says, that is what will come. So the core, not but I mean, we near young Cassie and you know, yes, it's Roby and a young will be so. I mean, it's a straight data matter.
Yabas Amakunugana, so Sekunugana, and or the air products, Araba Bazin, Ababe Boya. Maba wadi sisi ho ama womobo someswa yente wo monka na konu Ghana esoso ede honcho capsules so ebra mema on the dia benia urinary disorders, prostate disorders nyina na konu Ghana esan ede Mr. K esoso say the vitality in men na or the libido in men nyina odi si anom or say kin tablet for treating high blood pressure, hypertension say o yeden regulate now what me stabilize your pressure in no kunu Ghana at the Ken tablet na dia bro it is so ube to be there at the Noako East Lego na Champion Junction na say over the counter medicine shops and na say pharmacy benya kunu Ghana products in bi o pre kunu on 024 413 9176 024 413 9176 and 020 413 9176 020 413 9176 027 413 9176 027 413 9176 na yɛhwɛ na yɛntimu dima na ne nyinaa ne sɛ yɛde aseda ba awie no kusunity need 100.9 FM rami ADAKABRI Mamudu Osioma panyi kwadwo damiado enana production is in naso ably supported by Macjerry Osei Ajman and rejuvenated Ohima Ekwefriye and then for technical production Abna Frema Abankro Wane Nana Yao Safo ana wone ehwe edemayen na engineering team no achu agbo worker otiakwa na najare ana na aboaje then facilities group no so the big solo ana dada ana Godfred dodo na friend Ubrana ana Mapuna ana Sami na DJ Bosco na Feso no Mills so yasaramane se tetai afana de Ulakoko Michael one hwania one Abraham we ana DJ Foreigner ana omde be kofie omde be